Favorite something? Ask her a question. Ask her anything. You've got her right in front of you right now.
Do you like England compared to South America? South Africa?
She's not from South America. She's from South Africa. Yeah, now living in Yorkshire.
Yes. Okay. How do I... England is interesting.
Yeah, but you don't have a South African accent.
No, because my dad is English.
Ah.
You
What?
No. So my mom is South African. My dad is English. And I've lived in both places. And they're both very, very different.
Yeah.
Both interesting.
That's it. Wow, what a fascinating answer.
It's okay. I tell you, the UK's great. There you go.
Yeah. So what do you see yourself doing in the industry then? What do you... Because obviously I've dragged you kicking and screaming into this media work and you're doing loads of lives. You're doing, you're competing. You got Buff Bombshell, selling accessories and shoes and everything. Mm-hmm. You got your show now and you're doing photo shoots and stuff. So where do you see it all going? Where do you want it to go?
Okay. So what I want from Buff Bombshell is I really want to make it into sort of like a one-stop shop for beauty in competitions, for accessories, and eventually into bikinis as well. That is like my goal for Buff. And then in terms of media, I would love to just be more involved, whether it's through magazine or through YouTube. That is definitely something that I can see myself working towards, because I think it's it's the future. Everything is online. You might as well get online or you're not basically working at all.
Got to get digital.
Exactly. Yeah. And then...
Well, you're definitely natural at the whole... Like, I remember when... Like, I'd love to take full credit and say I really trained you and Emma up from that first episode of Buff Bombshell. But when I was... I was probably through the window or something watching, and I was like, I thought it would take at least... What are you laughing at?
No, it's just because with the green, I was going to say something cringy like you're my Yoda or my...
Padawan.
That's the one.
Padawan, yeah. Can you tell I've been educating her about Star Wars, Colleen? Yeah. Colleen, guess who her favourite character in Star Wars was? Jar Jar Binks. No!
One of my favourites. He's so cute.
I nearly rang her mum up saying, come and collect her. Jar Jar. And Ewoks. Jar Jar Binks.
So
and
cute.
The Ewoks.
Like when the little Ewoks and they go...
Yeah, like
Mayo.
Yeah.
It's so cute. I'm sorry. It's so cute.
Well, if you actually speak to any serious Star Wars fans, like they're like, oh, Return of the Jedi was great, apart from the Ewoks. Phantom Menace, oh my God, that was just ruined by Jar Jar Binks. So you've just... So there you go. And what are we talking about? What are we talking about for?
I don't know.
What are we talking about? Industry.
Where are we taking Buff Bombshell natural before I'm
So is
your
this...
Padawan?
Could we call this Global Bombshell or Buff Muscle?
Buff Muscle?
Buff Muscle. That sounds a bit creepy, doesn't it? Sounds like a very specialist website that they'll probably find on Carlene's browser.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
I'm joking.
No Buff Muscle for you.
So Buff Muscle. Buff Muscle. Google Buff Muscle, see what comes up.
Oh, no,
Do it, please. Do it. Go on, do it. Buff Muscle.
Oh, he's doing it.
Okay, let's just see his face reaction. I wish we had a camera on him. We've got to get a camera on Carleen.
Yeah, we got to get a camera on Carleen. Because you guys
he wears a very, very snazzy array of hats.
Yeah. Kaleem is our producer, and he's pretty awesome.
Buff Muscle. No, do I want to see that? Do I want to see that?
I want to see.
That's it.
What? Oh, Jesus. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not that important. Global Bombshell. Oh, that's really boring. I thought it was going to be something a little bit fruity.
Fruity. So you guys, there you go. www.buffmuscle.com is up for grabs.
Yeah. Get the domain name bought, definitely. Definitely. Right. Okay. So you say Ronnie Coleman's your favourite. Why?
Because he's awesome and he's the king. And
but elaborate. Come on. Give me some details.
Okay. Because he never gave up. He was like always at the back of the pack. And then all of a sudden he started winning and he was undefeated for so many years.
Who else do you like?
Who else do I like? What, bodybuilding guys or women?
Bodybuilding guys, yeah. Well, you met Brandon Curry?
Brandon Curry was pretty cool. Nice family man.
Did you get a photo with Brandon?
I did. Guess who took it?
Yes?
Yes.
She went, oi, take a picture.
I didn't say
peasant.
it like that.
She said, peasant, take a photo of me with you. You, boy, you.
I would never use that.
You clicked your fingers at me and said, oi, you.
I get the splits. I did not click fingers.
I've actually got footage of that.
Oh God.
I've actually got footage of that on my phone. You in the background. Who were you with? Who was that with? Was another bikini?
My friend Alex.
Other bikini sculptors.
Oh, yep. So I was with Kerry Sexton. She was there.
Not bodybuilders.
Bodybuilders.
No, I'm saying sculptors, not bodybuilders.
Oh no, bikini sculptors.
You can't call
bikini.
I think what it is. Look, the reason I started off with that one is because, like, I've been going on for years saying some of the bikini girls are too skinny. I like the Natalia. I always say over and again, Natalia Mello 2012.
She was good.
Mandala Toner. I think that's a real nice level of muscularity, and I think, certainly in the amateurs.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the bikini girls.
I do agree.
With all due respect, I think they're just they bring them down too far, and they're too skinny. They're too skinny.
I do agree. I think more muscle development is required, and you definitely see that on the pro stage.
You said muscular development.
Muscular. See,
sorry.
I was made.
Take
for
a shot
this.
every time you say that.
You guys, I was made for this.
Take a shot.
But no, I definitely agree with you there. I think in the amateur ranks, I think it's because the girls, they don't have that level of muscle yet. So
yeah, but it's the way it's judged as well. It's the way it's judged.
This could be a topic for another day. But
yeah, can't wait. Yeah, let's keep that one to Buff Bombshell.
But yes, on the day, I will. But on the day, I was with Kerry Sexton, IFBB Pro. Phoebe Hagen was there, IFBB Pro as well.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else. I was friend with Martina, Alex, just some of the local people that used to go to Muscleworks Orpington.
Muscleworks Orpington, yeah. Because I took Phil Heath there on his 2019 UK tour. I took Brandon there, and I went there I went there to see Dorian as well.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that was when me and Dorian kind of reconnected, because Dorian don't think Dorian really liked me, and I had a bit of a weird relationship with him as well. And then when I went to see a couple other people, friends, and Dorian was just about to do his seminar there, and he came and sat with me, and I got a completely different vibe from him. It's like ayahuasca. I had a dream I took ayahuasca the other night.
Really?
Yeah. And I kept waking up, and I could feel the ayahuasca. You know, the healing plant medicine thing that Dorian kind of
he uses to. Yes.
$3.5 grand to go to Costa Rica and do that for 10 days.
Really? So what is it supposed to do exactly? Well, I'm just asking. I've never done it.
It's hard to go into. Plus, I don't really know how to explain it. Really.
Okay, so basically, ayahuasca.
It's used by shamans. It's been used in. If I explain it, I'm gonna really.
We don't know.
I'm gonna do a real hatchet job. It's like they drink it, and there's ceremonies and all this, and
so
and a lot.
We need to do more research on it.
Do you know Brad Rowe?
Yes to the name.
Brad Rowe, yeah, he's Mike Tyson's personal trainer, pro bodybuilder.
Oh, you interviewed him.
He does the machine thingy.
Didn't you interview him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, that's 2 episodes you watched.
No, come on. You do loads. You interview so many
I know. It's hard to keep up. What I do is after every episode, I do. I asked her to write a 3,000-word essay on what she liked, what she didn't like about it, and I'll go with my red pen and
Gold sticker for you.
Yeah. So anyway, are you looking forward to going to any shows this year? Any pro shows? If we could get to one, which would you want to go to and why?
To watch, obviously, yes.
Yeah. Oh well, the thing is, if you're going, and you might be doing a bit of media work there.
Okay, so if I obviously want to go to the Olympia. Come on, that's number one. That is, I'd love to go around with a microphone and interview like the next bikini Olympia and be like, hey ladies.
Speak it into existence.
Exactly, and just be like there. I think I would do a really good job of that and be backstage and I could see Angelica again. Oh my God. So good.
Do you think you've stopped fangirling now in the interviews?
No.
I think that's the one thing. That's the only thing I can see that you need to get over.
Okay.
Because the thing is though, they love it. It's flattering to them, but because it's you can see that you've got such respect for them.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, just maybe speak to them a little bit more beforehand. No, because I obviously, what was I like last summer when we had Kevin Navrone on? Kevin Navrone's my all-time favorite bodybuilder. And I was like, Kevin Navrone, and it's like, I've been doing this. This is the 88th episode of Globe Muscle. You're talking 2.5, 3 hours an episode. I've been around 26 years doing what I'm doing when you were 2.
Oh my.
Started when you were 2.
I love it. It's nice.
Yes. But it's like, I still occasionally, I still get a little bit, I don't get nervous, but I get apprehensive and a little bit, look, for the other show I had Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman on the screens.
That was cool.
I mean, you get I don't even get nervous wrap heads. I get kind of excited.
That was really cool.
But it's you got to kind of stay focused, you know. But I'm not criticizing.
No,
you're doing great. You're doing great.
You always have something to work on. There you go. Everyone has always something to work on. Like, no one's perfect, but I definitely feel like I'm getting better. And I definitely feel like out of all the shows, that would be the one I'd want to go to. And I would do it. Yes, I would.
Can we go to Star Wars Land afterwards?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
Hey, see
Can
a
I
couple
dress up?
Of course you can, dear. What do you think? What do you think, Colin? Princess Leia outfit? Princess Leia, the metal bikini?
Oh, yes, the Jabba.
I'm not going as Jabba the Hutt. But a really shit costume and in a really, like her in like the actual costume, the metal bikini.
You could go
And
as
me
Han
in like a
Solo.
real Han Solo. Yeah, I got lots of waistcoats.
Very cool.
Young Han Solo. No, it would have to be old Han Solo, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Don't answer that. Young Han Solo or old Han Solo? Not the one in the new films, because he's like old as shit there.
What, the
I'm
Han
not quite
Solo-
that old.
That was a good movie too. I like that one.
Which one?
Han Solo.
Solo.
Just Solo.
Just Solo.
Just so.
Not Han Solo.
It
And you
was
see how he got. And you
good.
see how he got his name as well, Han Solo, because he says his name. What's his name? He says Han, and because he's by himself, he says, "Oh, Han Solo."
That was really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed all the Star Warses.
Good.
Yes.
Harry Potter now.
Star Wars. What's a Star Wars? Can't believe we actually watched Star Trek yesterday. What did you say? The guns. And I said no.
I
they're
said
called
something. He lost his blaster, and you said
It's
no.
a phaser.
It's a phaser.
And I was correcting you on Star Trek, which
And
made it really, really
I
bad.
was like, I don't get Star Trek. I now have to watch this. So
Okay, right. Final question before we go. Who would be your ultimate person to interview and why? Very sweaty. Why is it not hot? It's 12 degrees today. It's -2 last week.
no, it's very cold.
The house could not get warm,
Yeah, it
could
was
it?
super cold. Anyway,
I had my thermals on.
favorite person and why?
Long johns.
Ooh,
Do you know what long johns are?
no.
This happens about 3 times a day. I'll say something. She goes, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, keep forgetting you're not old as shit like me."
You're not old.
I'm not getting older. I'm getting better.
45.
Not old, babe. I mean,
Oh,
Giles.
edit that out, please. Right, so what you were saying about who you'd like to interview? Sorry, I get sidetracked
Okay.
sometimes. I get sidetracked.
I'd say Amanda Latona.
It's my age. What?
Amanda Latona.
Oh, Amanda Latona.
So she's the owner of Booty Queen Apparel. I
Yep.
think it's really awesome that she started her own line of leggings and sports apparel.
They've got their own. Her and Steve have got their own retail stores in the malls.
Yep.
Have you seen them on Shark Tank?
No.
Do you know what Shark Tank is?
No.
Do you know what Dragon's Den is?
Yes.
Well, it's the American version of that.
Okay. So that's pretty cool. But no, I think definitely Amanda Latona. I like her values. I like how she's
awesome.
with Steve Cookler, obviously.
She should have won the 2010 Olympia. I was
she's
there.
So pretty as well. She's really wholesome as well. She stands up for what she believes in. She's obviously got her business, which is really going quite well now. No, I really admire her and them as a couple, and then what she's doing now post show.
Have you seen her MC the Arnold as well?
I have not, but
Have you seen? You must watch the live stream. She always does the night show.
I
She
don't-
does. She shares the night show with him, with her, and like they have like some sort of, I forget his name, Clive something. He's like a TV show host.
Okay.
They get him on because it's a bit different, you know.
And maybe I've seen one or two, but I've mostly been following the Olympias for the last couple of years.
Right. Okay.
But yes, definitely Amanda Latona. I think she'd be lovely to speak to as well. So
Yeah, she's nice. Her and Steve, cool guys.
yeah.
Gals.
Gals.
Guys and gals. Right, okay then. I think we'll wrap this up because we have first guests for episode 8.
Yeah.
So I always forget the episodes.
Can I say hi
Can you say hi to who?
to them, to your guests?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this has been filmed over 2 days, so
Uh-huh,
you
I
can.
know.
Yeah, okay, I'll allow that. Yeah. I'll allow that.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not allowed.
Just yeah. Right. Okay then. Lauren Lotter, host of Buff Bombshell. Thank you for joining me on this intro. Do you know what? I'm so out of practice at doing the intros. I don't know what they're called anymore. I'm just used to doing interviews on Skype. So thank you for joining us, and I'll speak to you very soon, probably in the next hour. Probably in 5 minutes, because we're doing the shout outs straight after this. And we'll be right back with our very first guest on MD Glove Muscle, and we are out. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On The Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined all the way from, haven't a clue, Charles Griffen. Yay! Charles!
What's good, brother?
I'm really good, mate. I've completely forgotten where you're from. I apologize.
I'm originally from Arizona, Phoenix, Avondale, Arizona, but I've been living in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota now for like 10 years.
Okay, I have no idea where that is. That's the mid, isn't it? Central.
Yeah, Midwest. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I tell people when I go to shows and they say where are you from, I always just say Minneapolis, Minnesota, is because that's where I started my bodybuilding at. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Mate, we haven't spoken for ages.
I thought you didn't like me no more, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, man, I thought me and Giles was cool, man. I didn't know if you liked me anymore, man. Like, golly.
I did go off you for a bit. No, because I don't know what's happened, but because you're competing, and then all of a sudden you seem to disappear off my Instagram feed, and then I think it was the other week you just kind of popped up, and you're looking absolutely huge again. So what's been going on, mate? Where have you been?
Man, my last show I did was Tampa Pro.
Yep.
And, that was a little hit in the gut right there because, I always placed, I always was in the first call out, top 5, you know what I mean? So that was my first time not getting into the top 5 and not being in the first call out. I didn't want to do that show anyway. I wanted Chicago Pro. I was doing the Chicago Pro. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to win that. And I lost to Michael Lockett. I placed second. So then I just did the Tampa Pro because everybody was telling me I should keep going, and I just wasn't feeling it. And, I took and I got 6th place or something like that, 6th or 7th place out of the first call out. So then I went back into the lab and I was just like, it's time to make some improvements instead of just doing these quick improvements and just trying to get back on stage. I was going to take some time off, and I decided to take some time off, and then COVID hit, and I was already deciding to take time off before COVID hit. I just wanted to, I've been going I know it's bodybuilders out there that's been going hard as long as me and as hard as me, but I was going since 2014, 2 or 3 shows a year, and I just needed to break, you know what I mean? I just needed to kind of be a regular person for a little bit, eat, not worry about eating so much food, always this and always that, and I traveled to the Dominican, I went to Mexico, I went to Denver, I went to Vegas. I just traveled a little bit, you know what I mean? I just was a regular human being for a little bit. I didn't take food with me. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And it was just, I just needed to take a break. It was just, I just need to take a break for myself. That's what I need to do. I was supposed to be still working on my physique and doing this and doing that. Then I got caught up being in a regular person, and I just... And then all of a sudden I was just going through the motions, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's what it was. That's where I've been at.
So how do you, obviously the break, by the sounds of it, the break was what you needed physically, mentally. Yeah. Am I right?
Yep.
So how do you feel now though?
I feel greatness. I feel like greatness right now. You know what I mean? I feel great. My head, it took a while after taking like a year off to get back on a horse. It took a little while to get back on a horse, eating my meals, getting my workouts in. I was always working out, but to flip that switch to where I need to go crazy. You know what I mean? I need to be going crazy in the gym. It was hard to flip that switch. It was hard to get consistent on my food, get consistent on my supplements, get consistent on everything. It was hard. And I was just like, man, I need to get back on it. And I don't know. Then all of a sudden I just woke up and something clicked and I was like, oh, we're back. And I just been eating my food and hitting the weights, and everything's just been, it's been good, and I think what the break did for me, what the best thing the break did for me was my midsection. Okay. Because I took a break, once I always had a tiny waist. Then I had that hernia surgery in 2018, and I kind of let those muscles, relax when I was healing. And I should have kept those muscles tight, should have kept my bandage on. And what that did was it blew out my waist a little bit. And then I'm shoving all this food down my throat, 9-10 ounces of protein every meal. And that just kept the waist like this. So over this year break, I wasn't eating as much food and I wasn't digesting all this damn protein and stuff like that. And what that did was it's brought my midsection in. I've been working on my back. but my midsection has came back in. Now my physique is like, now I'm getting that prettiness back, that prettiness I had in, and that symmetry. I'm getting that prettiness and that symmetry back that I had in 16, 17, 18, and then 19. I kind of, with that hernia recovery, I kind of let that slack. So it kind of messed up my symmetry a little bit. So now we back on that, getting that massive pretty look back. You know what I mean?
Good. Well, I wouldn't describe you as pretty, personally.
Handsome.
Yeah, that's okay. I
can. You thought I was handsome. I knew it.
I could deal with that one. So it was because 2018 was really your that was your good year, wasn't it? Your really, really good year.
Yeah, I say like 17 and 18 was like, that's when like everybody started hearing about my name. Was when 17 when I placed second next to Victor Martinez, and then after that things just started taking off after that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then was it 11th you got at the Olympia in 2018? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. You're just one step away from making top 10 at the Olympia. You're making. I mean, you were doing loads of shows and you were doing well in all of them. You were nailing your condition as well, weren't you? Completely.
Yes. Yeah, and I miss it now. I just miss that stage, man. I miss it. It's like, man, in the bodybuilding world, you take a year off, people forget about you, man. You know what I mean? They like, whoa, my name wasn't going around nowhere. I'm like, I don't like this, man. I started feeling like my ego was getting hit a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Nobody know who Charles Griffen is no more. I'm posting, I'm getting 5 likes. I'm like, damn, what's going on? But
what?
Now I got a little more than 5 likes. I was being a little sarcastic.
You're getting 20 now.
But I'm moving now. Like everybody, it's my name is bumbling around in everybody's mouth again. So they see me working, and what I mean. I'm seeing people popping up on my page that ain't been seeing my page. Good. They taking tabs and stuff like that because they know I'm coming now. It's on.
Good. So how's training going?
Oh, training is like it's going great, man. Training is going great. Like I've been yesterday. What was it? Friday. I was just like, fuck. I'm just like having orgasms in the gym. I feel like what Arnold's talking about. Like
the pump.
Like every workout has just been. I'm talking about fire. Like man, it just feels like Friday I did shoulders. It felt like my shoulders weren't even my shoulders. You know what I mean? It was just I was just blowing them up. So workouts are good. Everything's good. I've been in that little slump. I was in a little slump, couldn't get back on my meals, couldn't get back on everything right. And, Matt Jansen's still my coach.
Oh, Matt, of course, yes.
Matt's still my coach, but he was sending me plans and I wasn't doing them. He's 100% on, and me, I'm over here 55%. So I told Matt, like, I need to get myself out of this hole.
Yeah.
So I can't have you I can't be checking in with you and having you do diets and stuff, but I'm not 100% on with you. So I got to get myself out of this hole. So that's what I did. I dug myself out of this hole. I've been doing my own thing. I've been doing my own thing, firing on all cylinders, feeling good. And now yesterday was my first time when I checked in with Matt and sent my check-in photos. And I'm about to get the new plan today. And now we're about to ramp it up and, start looking for what shows we're going to do and stuff this year. So, yeah.
So obviously you've had no problems training with COVID.
No, because I have because I'm like at my gym, I got keys to the gym. You know what I mean? I got keys to the gym, so I was going into a gym by myself with dark lights off and this and that, and I'm training. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't nobody's. I don't need nobody around to work out this and that, and that. But it was a little boring in there. You know what I mean? Working out in the dark and stuff like that. But
See, I love training in a gym when there's no one in it. I love it. I hate it. I don't like it when people walk into my gym, because that's how I see it. It's like, this is my territory. This is my gym.
Does the gym say Giles' gym, or is that like, does it?
In my head, it does.
Oh, okay.
Well, I train like an old, dusty, old hardcore gym. Like Dorian Yates trained there a few times. It's like, it is just like one of those proper old school gyms. And on a Friday night, I train at a time, when the gyms were open. So, but yeah, I like it when it's nice and quiet. But other people, there's people like the gyms to be busy and kind of exploding with energy. And I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah, I feel that energy, music bumping through. You see everybody around, and that, and that. I feed off that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So,
because the gym I train at is like it's been around since 1983. It was like when I first came to the gym, it was just like 2 rooms, upstairs and dungeon. And then once I came to that gym and and I started posting this and that. That gym blew up, and now it's got 6 rooms. But it's an old school bodybuilding gym, been around since 1983, so
nice.
Dirty and grimy. So if you could work out in that gym, you don't got to worry about getting COVID.
yeah, that's the least of your worries. Like,
yeah, that's the least of my worries.
I always like that shoulder press, the standing shoulder press. That looks really cool.
Yeah, that's the Viking press. They made that. Everybody asks what brand that is. I'm like, that's homemade. They made that. Yeah, so it's lovely.
Fantastic. So obviously, Matt Jansen's doing very well with obviously Sean Clarida, the winning the 212. That was impressive, wasn't it?
Crazy. That was like when he came out, I was like, that is the freakiest person I ever seen right there. Like pound for pound, muscle to muscle, ain't nobody. Rolly Winkler, Rami, I don't care. All these people, I still think Sean Clarida got the most muscle on his freaking frame. That is fucking ridiculous.
Do you know what? I mean, I saw that backstage video, the one that went viral, and it does. And I said to him, I had him on a few weeks ago, and I said, mate, it looks like CGI. It literally looks like CGI.
I outweigh him at that point in time. He was one, I don't know what. I outweigh him by a lot. I don't want to stand next to him on stage looking like that. It's a funny story. We got Olympia 2018. He gets right off the flight, comes to the gym to meet me, Matt, and all of us, and then Matt puts us in the locker room, and he says, "Peel off your guys' clothes." Yeah. And Sean Clarida pulled off his clothes, and I'm like, what the hell? Why is he getting to eat all this damn food? Why is he looking like that? Why? Yeah. He just got off the plane, and he looked like he got a full-ass pump, and then they're like, nah, he's not eating that much food. What is going on? I'm like, well, he's going to pose, and then his ass is going to leave, and then I'm going to pose in front of you. I don't want to pose in front of you with Clarida right here. He's just a freak.
Yeah, he's like I think he was 155 in his first Olympia in 2015. And for this Olympia, he's 177.
That's ridiculous.
It's nuts,
that
isn't it?
It's ridiculous. Nuts. It's crazy.
Lee Labrada weighed more than him.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing what him and Matt's been doing, and they've been together for a while, you know what I mean? They've been together that's a beautiful thing, yeah.
So let's see if he can do the same with you, mate.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to get back with Matt because see what he's doing with Nick Walker and just Matt. Yeah. Matt's just he's just you know what I mean. Everybody's, are you still with Matt? I have no reason. I don't want to. I'm not gonna go with no other coach. Matt is my guy. You know what I mean. He cares about us. He really puts all his time into it. This and that. It's like he's like family. You know what I mean. He's been in my ear this whole time. Me taking a break, trying to get me going, trying to do this, trying to do that. But everybody could tell you something, but you know. Until you're ready to do it, then it's going to happen. And then finally that switch clicked, and it's like, here we go. You know what I mean? I'm ready to do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So what makes him so good then?
Because he cares. You know what I mean? He genuinely cares. You're just not a person on his athlete list, a checklist. Like when you go over his house and stay, or you go do this, he's like making your food for you. You just hear your plate hit the table. Oh, it's time to eat. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff he does. You know what I mean? He welcomes you with open arms and stuff like that. I'm a people person, this and that. I've been around a lot of people, and I could tell he just genuinely cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these coaches, you're just like a payment to them, or this or that. But you could tell he genuinely cares. So yeah. That's why I say Matt is as good as he is, because he really cares about his athletes. Yeah.
So obviously the shows are being moved around and moved from here to there, and New York's in Tampa, and they've put in Athleticon back to April 2022 now. So have you thought about what shows you maybe like to do for 2021?
I'm not gonna lie, like the way I just got this excitement and this shit going in my system. I'm like, oh yeah, it's on. I'm looking good, and I'm like I'm not my biggest I've been, but quality wise with muscle, I'm right there. You know what I mean? Like I've weighed more than what I weigh right now, but quality wise, I'm all the way there. And I'm liking how I've been practicing my vacuum, making that midsection smaller, this and that, because that's what one of the judges' critiques was. That's the only reason why Michael Lockett beat me, was because of my midsection. Like, and I'll go back and look. I was angry at the show. I should have won. But then when I just recently went back and looked at it, and I was sitting, and they looked at it like, ooh, look at his midsection. I look at the person that was talking. I'm like, forget you, man. But then I looked at I'm like, you're supposed to be looking at me. But I looked at the midsection. I'm like, yeah, I see why they gave it to him with that midsection. So I've been working on my vacuums, doing this and doing that. So I'm excited. So to get back, I got off a little bit off topic. So I was wanting to do like 10, 11 weeks. I could do like New York Pro or Indie Pro. Yeah. And then Justin Rodriguez posted a picture.
Oh, shit.
He's doing a picture. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just I'm gonna marinate a few more weeks underneath Matt, and we gonna grow a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I never lost to some of these guys. They never beat me, so I don't want to just go out there and compete against them and they beat me when I didn't marinate a little bit. So I want to put more. I want to put some more weight on, marinate at that weight a little bit, and then hit a show. Because I seen Justin and Nick's and even Blessings and shit, Mustafa's. I seen all these pictures. I'm like,
Muhammad, yeah.
I'm like, hold up. Let me pump the brakes. Matt, let's work for another few weeks and let's build some. And let's build this confidence up in them. I'm not no dummy, you know what I mean? So these guys are looking crazy right now. Yeah.
I mean, there's I think there's a British Grand Prix in October as well.
What's that?
There's one in Britain, UK in October.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. But with the deadline, what is so the Olympia's in October?
Oh yeah,
right?
It's it'll be a qualifier for next year's because I'm not sure. To be honest, I haven't looked at the calendar yet. I haven't seen because I know up to a certain point they'll qualify for this Olympia, and then it qualifies you for the following years. Yeah.
So what I want to try to do, like I want to for sure, I want to try to do 1 or 2 shows before the Olympia because I would like to try to get on that stage again. That's that's what I want to do. So October, if say in the perfect world that doesn't happen, then hey, I might be coming out there to your neck of the woods to do that show.
Thing is, like, because you've got 11th at the Olympia is like getting 7th. You're just one spot away from top 10 and top 6. It must be. I think I'd rather be 8th than 7th. Because then you're like so close, and it's you're like 11th, like just one spot away. But at least it means you're close,
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's feeling good, man. Everything's feeling good. I'm excited, man. I'm just excited to be back, doing what I'm doing and hitting these weights and getting underneath the heavy weights and just, for a moment there, I was like, man, like, do I still want to bodybuild? Do I still like this? Do I still love this? But I had certain stuff in my life that was pulling me this way, pulling me that way, and then I'm trying to worry about myself, and then I let that stuff go, and it's like, oh man, I'm in love with bodybuilding, so this still is my shit. You know what I mean? Nice. So I just had to get a few energy drainers out of my life, and now we're on that road of destruction. Now we're about to kill something. It's
good.
Yes.
I think it's important. I mean, a lot of bodybuilders through the decades, the ones that take the one step back to go 2 forward, I think the ones that have the confidence to do that, I would say 9 times out of 10, it always works in their favor.
Yeah. Like I said, honestly, for real, like, I'm really loving how my physique is looking with my midsection because that's the main thing the judges told me about was my midsection. And they reposted my stuff on Instagram, and one of the judges like, ooh, looks like his waist came in. Looked like his waist came in a little. Yeah. It looked like his waist came in. And I said, that was your guys' last critique. He says, hell of a job, good job, you know what I mean? And just with my side tricep, even my front double bicep, everything, like when my waist came in, it just like, I'm like, okay, there's that physique that I remember before I got that hernia surgery. And, I should have listened to the people that was in my ear when I got the hernia surgery to keep my midsection tight, to keep the wrap on. I took the wrap off and I'm just letting the gut hang. I'm a big bodybuilder, so I can just let it hang out. Stupid, you know what I mean? But you live and you learn.
Do you know there's only one bodybuilder I've ever seen where the waistline's gone and he's managed to get it back, and that was Rowley from 2013 to 2016. Every other time when you see the midsection goes, that's it. You never, Nasser Sambati, Phil Heath really kind of, in a manner of speaking, really didn't really get it back perfect. But I've never seen once it goes, that's it, But like I said, Rowley's the only one I've ever seen do it successfully.
And, I'm not going to lie to you, Giles. I was beating myself up for that missed time. Like, I could have took some time away from stage and from bodybuilding for a year. I could have did that, but I should have still been working on my physique to where, okay, I could have been ready for New York or Indy to come up soon. But what I've done is I found a positive out of taking that year off and not doing that. And that's with the midsection, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found a positive thing in it, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't shoving I don't know, 400 some grams of protein down my body, and my food had to digest this and that. So I was only eating three or four meals, and when I was on like a hormone replacement therapy, I was on just a little bit of this and a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was natty. Yeah, you can call me that. I was natty.
Yeah, we're definitely not friends anymore. Sorry, I've lost all respect for you now.
This interview is over. I'll talk to you later.
It's over. I don't need to be natties.
Yeah. So.
I'm joking, of course, yes. Yeah, it's real bodybuilding, proper bodybuilding.
Yeah, so now my body's just soaking up everything. So it's good. It's soaking up everything.
Honestly, mate, I think overall, I think you really, really did the right thing there. I think it takes a lot of guts to do that, to take a step back and to kind of regroup and kind of get your body physically. And I mean, the thing is, like, look at like the Olympia guys in the 90s. That after the Olympias, they take 3-4 months off training. Kevin of Rome would take 6 months off. And I think you have to reset the body rather than just keep hammering it, and just keep pushing it all the time, because it will fight back, it'll bite back.
Yeah, it will fight back, and that's what it was doing. And then it was just like, I just needed it up here. So I just needed that break, because it felt like a job.
Yeah.
It felt like a job. Bodybuilding's always been fun. It felt like fun. I was always looking forward to training this and that. So now I'm training my clients, and I'm like, shit, I got 3 more clients. I can't wait to hit my workout. I can't do this. I can't wait to do that. I was missing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't having that. I was like, oh, here we go. It's time to work out. Now it's like, I can't wait. You know what I mean?
So during your time off, what was your favorite thing to do? You like fishing, don't you? You like fishing?
Hell no, that fishing is no. I do not like fishing. You know what? I'm a big TV guy, because especially with the pandemic was going on. You couldn't really do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bought a bike. I bought a bike, and I paid $700 for this bike, Giles, and I rode the bike probably about 4 times.
Oh no! I would sell it and get Netflix and Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I like to bowl. I was bowling, But yeah, mostly I was just relaxing and just letting the brain relax. You know what I mean? Just whatever I wanted to do, I was doing. You know what I mean? Trying to be outdoors a lot, this and that, and that. So yeah, it was. I shouldn't have bought that damn bike. I wasted my money. I'm probably only gonna get like $300 or $400 for it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, it's like you could use it as a clothes horse to dry your clothes on.
Yeah, I swear that's what I hang dry all my stuff, because I don't want it to shrink or lose its color. So I put it on my stationary bike, and on my road bike I put hang up clothes on there and stuff like that. Giles, you've been sneaking in my house looking at my stuff.
Yeah, Minneapolis, wherever the bloody hell you are.
Hey, you know what's funny though? What's funny?
What?
I was just showing videos. I swear, like, when was this? This was 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. I said this is one of the funnest. I said this is one of my funnest interviews, and it was us at the Olympia.
Oh, the Olympia! Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, look at him. He's so excited at the Olympia. They're like, damn, Charles, you're so excited too. You're usually a good talker. You're stumbling over your words, this and that. I just watched that video, and then 2 days later, you hit me like, do you want to get on? I'm like, see, the universe is speaking. The universe is speaking. Yes.
I remember that interview because, right, I can do long interviews, short. I mean, I'm very experienced. But the one thing that really gets me kind of apprehensive, not anxious or nervous or anything, is when you do that Thursday night, because it's the first thing you do at the Olympia, when you're at the Olympia. And it's there's a lot of distraction. Like in the studio, there's nothing going on. I've got nothing distracting me. But when you're at those Meet the Olympians, like there's a lot of energy, and there's a lot of, a lot of energy. So it's very easy to like not be able to be focused on that interview. But I remember doing that one, and I think that was the first one I did that night, and I was like, I went to you first. I was like, yeah, this will be good, and then I'll be all buzzing and I'll be happy. And it was really good. I remember that. It was good.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, it's on, my man. I'm excited for this upcoming season. Like I just got a message from Matt on WhatsApp, and he just told me he's gonna have the plan over to me today, and we're just going to have a couple progressive weeks underneath our belt.
Nice.
So we can get on the same wavelengths, and then we're going to take it from there and try to get back on that Olympia stage this year, try to hit a couple shows before the Olympia deadline. You know what I mean? So that's the goal.
And then you're going to have, are you going to have pictures of Rami on your fridge?
What's that?
Are you going to have pictures of Rami on your fridge?
I don't think my fridge is big enough for pictures around me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would just be honest. Man, I was excited to see Rami. I was excited to see Rami finally. He's just like a big bear, man. You know, he's just like a big nice guy, man. So when he finally won, it was like he deserved that. You know what I mean? I was happy to see Rami do that. Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest. I'd completely given up on him being able to do what he did at that Olympia.
Exactly.
I thought, no, it's been, you know, we saw him at the Arnold Classic after his year and a half off, whatever. It kind of looked good, but not what we wanted. And I was like, yeah, I still think he should have been second. I think I had him beating Dexter. But I was not expecting to see what I saw at the Olympia.
Yeah, and he, like with his posing and everything, whatever. What's his name? Dennis James took him through all that boot camp posing because he hit those poses and he just stuck them, and he was in them hard. So yeah, it was good to see Rami bring it. It was real good. That was good for him. Yeah, I was glued to the television right there when I saw that. Yeah, it was nice.
I think I like the fact that so many people have noticed that he was first in the pose and last out of the pose, no shaking. He was you could see that Dennis James had really schooled him and really worked him hard. 3 times a day posing.
That's what he needed. You know what I mean? He needed to be under. Some bodybuilders need to be under that eye. I don't know. Man, Rami's a better bodybuilder than me. I'm not coming at Rami, but I think Rami, if he's not under the eye of certain people, he tends to not do what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? So I think he's one of those bodybuilders where he got to be under the eye, and they got to really watch him and push him to bring out his full capabilities of what he's able to do. You know what I mean? So
I think now he's got the title, Chad Nichols and Dennis James are not gonna. I think they're going to probably duplicate and say, look, it worked this year. Let's do exactly the same next year or this year.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So yeah, it's going to be fun to be up there with them this year. I'm about to manifest that. I'm manifesting that. It's going to be fun to be up there on Olympia stage with Rami this year. I'm about to manifest that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'm just happy to see you back and you're feeling good, and it was nice. It's been good to catch up because I wanted to see where you were headspace wise, you know. But it's good. The stomach's fixed, and you're feeling confident, and you're feeling fresh, and you're enjoying it and loving it again. And I think it's going to be exciting to see what you're going to bring in 2021, mate.
Yeah, it's on, brother. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Drop the mic. All right, then, mate. Well, I'll let you go do some cycling on your $700 bike.
What's that?
I'll let you take your clothes off your bike and go do some cycling now, mate.
Oh yeah, I'm about to do that. I'm about to go ride my bike to the leg day right now. That's what I'm about to go do.
Nice. All right then, mate. Well, this has been awesome catching up, and I'll see you on stage in it's not Vegas, it's Orlando again, isn't it? Now? In Orlando in October. Yes, October 7th to 10th.
All right, brother.
All right, take care, Charles.
Take care.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined on split screen all the way from Italy, Andrea Muzi and Mauro Sassi. Yay, how you doing, guys?
Okay, thanks a lot for inviting me. I'm very happy and really appreciate your inviting me and also my other Andrea.
Yes. So, Mauro, just for clarification, you're going to be translating for Andrea, who doesn't speak any or very much English at all.
Yeah, okay. I'm coaching, but now we try to be translator because my English is not perfect, but I hope so that people will understand what they're talking about. You're
fine, but actually, Mauro, you're a guest as well, because I mean, you're a big name in the industry as well as Andrea.
Yeah, big name, because I work a long time, because you remember when I meet you a long time ago, where we was fan of Michal Zupan for the shreddy, great athlete condition, and I'm still in the bodybuilding industry for all my life because it's my passion, and now we start a long time my work.
Mauro, I saw you compete against John Citrone in 1998, was it?
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not compete me, but I was in Mr. Universe with Miha.
No, you compete. You did.
Me? UK? Yeah. No, I compete just in WABA.
Okay. No, I'm sure I've seen
them. Not competing in ABA, never. No. I'm stopped in competing in WABA.
Okay.
Because I'm not the genetic for to be professional in pro league. My body is good bodybuilder, but not for to be professional pro league.
Okay then. So, how long have you and Andrea Muzi been working together?
Okay, we started with Andrea 2 years ago.
Only 2.
Yeah, just not long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Andrea for a long time because he was like one of the best athletes in Italy for special genetic, for good genetic, for to be good athlete, and the dream probably come true for to compete in Olympia.
Yeah.
That we're working now together for that.
Yeah, I think that's achievable. So can you give us some backstory on Andrea, some of his contest history?
Okay, Andrea, there when we cooperated with me, we don't have a lot show because last year we come in just pandemia, and then with Andrea we just have one show in Alicante last year.
Yep.
And a couple years ago it was one show in Italy that we won Rolly Winkler, the second place with Nat and the Ash, and then also in Hungary another show. That we do like a 4 or 3 show together. The problem this year, final of the last year was the problem for the traveling for to compete around the Europe and around the world for the pandemic.
So before he started working with you, can you give us some of his contest history?
Okay. The contest history, the first show was in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
In Italy, where Andrea was the first time that we worked together.
Yeah.
And I don't was very happy for that show, but first time, he's the athlete, because we need to work with more time for to see the reaction, for the loading, for the posing, for everything, for to be top player on the show, and to be in top 3, top 2, top 5. That's the problem. And the second show when preparing Andrea for the Hungary was much better, because in my opinion, for Andrea, you have a good genetic. Well, we need to work more stage for to be comfortable and have a good posing, a better presentation. This is my opinion for him.
So, I mean, how old is Andrea now?
Quanti anni Andrea?
30.
30 years.
30 years, and he's a fantastic age to turn pro then, isn't he, really, and be competing as a pro now, because that's plenty of time. What about, how tall is Andrea, and what is his body weight?
Ok, quanto sei alto e quanto pesi, Andrea?
Attualmente peso 134 kg e sono alto 1,80 m.
Okay, so I'm just talking in meter, is a 1.80 m tall, and then he weight in the empty stomach today morning was 297 pounds.
How much?
I just write him.
Whoa!
97.
297.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He understands that. Wow. Wow. Okay. So what did he weigh at Alicante?
Alicante was 122.
122. So 122 kilos.
Yes.
That's very. I mean, I watched the live stream. I watched the live stream, and he was. I mean, his legs, his back. He's carrying a lot of thickness.
Yeah, but there are my opinions are if I want to do like my what's wrong. The coach for Alicante need Andrea is a very huge guy, very good genetics, small waist, good tape, and then need less weight.
Right.
Less.
Okay.
Not too much heavy.
Yeah.
Because if I do lose 2 kilos, no more, they will be shredded on the back, on the glutes. They will be, for me, easy top 3. Yeah. Because you have very good phenomenal genetic.
So obviously you're both from Italy. Are you close to each other in Italy? Whereabouts are you both from?
Andrea is from South Italy, like Rome. I'm from Trieste. It's a place close to Slovenia and Venice. It's like a 800 kilometer difference.
So that's so it's like north and south.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Wow. Okay. So how do you manage to coach him? Is it purely through Skype and photos and speaking?
There are. Okay, now is a new model because it's a new era. When I started coaching, nothing. And then with Andrea, I have a contact every weekend to give me feedback about how was it working, how was the weekend, and of course picture. But every 8 weeks, Andrea to Trieste in my city, or I move with the train or fly. Now it's so difficult to traveling, but I need to see Andrea in the real. I believe in the picture, I believe in the social media, but I'm still like an old school bodybuilding, real situation, much better.
So do you handle every aspect of his prep, his training, his diet, his supplementation, everything? Or
Okay, with Andrea, my typical approaching when preparing the athlete is like check the body, and then we'll see what is a weak part of the body for to work, improve, for to doing better for the future. There, my approaching with Andrea was the coming better the back part of Andrea, especially in the thickness on the back, improve and glutes, hamstring, and also calf. Because after time of Ronnie Coleman, there, for my opinion, the show we won in the back.
Yes.
And not every show, but when you turn to the back, you see if the coach make a good job or the job is not perfect.
Yeah.
Many show that we won on the back after the Ronnie Coleman. I remember comparison with the Flex Wheeler, with the Nasser.
Yeah.
When it started Ronnie posing on the back, this was game over.
Yeah.
And finally with Andrea, because Andrea have a phenomenal genetic in the arms, phenomenal genetic front quads. But the backs, for my opinion, was you need like a more work for good tape and also thickness. And then we do like, I propose him two time back in the week, because one session in the Monday and one session the Tuesday, 2 times, because one training will be for the V shape, one training for the dipper.
That's what Jay Cutler did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one for width and one for thickness, 2 days a week.
Yeah, and then also this is our my idea for to have a 2 frequency in the week with a weak part. Also with the press team, we do 2 times in a week legs because Andrea, Italian blade, Andrea Presti, we need 2 times time in a week training legs.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm very happy for the work. We see what's happened about Corona or everything, but now, Andrea, we are 70 weeks out for the probably compete in Bahamas because, Puerto Rico switch in Bahamas.
Yeah.
And then Yamamoto Nutrition competition, there where my company are sponsorship.
Yeah.
Then we try for probably, I don't know if it's possible to travel it. And after that will be Chicago, Vancouver, and also Estoril is a European show, only European show for to try to bring the qualification for Olympia 2021.
So the goal is you're going to do at least 4 pro shows to qualify for the 2021 Olympia.
Yeah, because the plan are that, but depend what's happening about the traveling because the Italian people is not possible to move to USA.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Bahamas, it's possible to land in Miami because American citizen is not possible to come to America. And then, I think that in history will be good fight with many athletes this year. European name, I saw like, Samsung, other Andrea, and
Hollinshead, James Hollinshead.
I don't think Hollinshead have a qualification. I don't know if I compete in history. Probably, I'm not sure.
Oh, he's qualified for the 2021 Olympia because he won the British Grand Prix. He qualified for both Olympias, 2020 and 2021. Yeah.
Because I don't think so that he compete in Estoril this year. Because I think that James, he have a focus directly to the Olympia.
Yeah. So what's this pro show? Estoril, where's this?
Estoril is in Portugal.
Oh, in Portugal. So he's going to do Portugal, Vancouver, the Puerto Rico, and what's the other one? Chicago?
Yeah, it was Chicago. But everything depends, that traveling. Chicago, I don't know. Because, I tell you, they're American, it's possible to travel in European, especially Italian. Yeah. Or if you have a vaccine. But vaccine, we need like more time because now we start with the very old people. For the athlete and young people, we need more time.
So what's Andrea like working with as an athlete? Is he easy to work with? You can ask him as well if you want.
What? Say again, please, one time.
Ask Andrea what it's like to work with you. Ask him.
Ok. Cosa hai visto la differenza? Vuoi farti parlare anche te, Andrea, del lavoro fatto, come lavoriamo assieme, come ti trovi?
Ormai sono 2 anni che mi alleni, quindi abbiamo trovato, la quadra in breve tempo. Poi un modo di lavorare abbastanza simile, ci confrontiamo spesso anche sui tipi su come gestire l'alimentazione, su come gestire l'allenamento, quindi ci diamo molti feedback ogni settimana e quindi è un rapporto che sta crescendo sempre di più, anche perché comunque sia si è creata, diciamo, anche un rapporto di amicizia, no? Quindi
Fiducia.
di fiducia, di affetto, che comunque sia portano ancora più lustro al lavoro che facciamo, quindi questo è.
Okay, I try to translate it, because the first impact that are with Andrea, there are to be need like a 1 year, much more probably 2 years to have a good feeling.
Yeah.
And then so sometime when you approach it with a new athlete, the athlete, they think that you have some secret or some news different for preparing the athlete. And then don't believe some athlete that. For me, most important to have a cooperation with any athlete around the world. Depend for Mr. Olympia, Mr. USA, Mr. Italy, there are athlete believing coach. Andrea, we believe in me, not just for the popularity or for my big name, just because I'm trying to do the work what the other athletes don't do with him, like posing, approaching complete to be professional bodybuilder, and to have a chance to dreaming stage of Olympia. That was the reason, because Andrea believed in me.
Yeah. So it's working really well then. Working great.
I'm not happy 100% because I would do like much better. I'm surprised in Alicante because Andrea was in first call out.
Yeah.
And then, there we have a good chance because when a hit judge call you in first call out, there we have a chance to fighting with a big name like Rafael, like James.
Yeah.
James made big, huge difference between 1 year and other year. He changed completely the body, especially in the back. And the other guys, Reagan Grimes, for my opinion, big name, but not unbelievable on the stage. He's the big name on the social. Respect every athlete. But just I want to tell you honestly my opinion. And the Samson and Andrea have a good chance to be in top 5 for my idea. Probably the judge, because my idea is every time if you want to do better work for the future, ask the head judge. Don't think like make a problem in Instagram, Facebook, blah, 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 fighting with the judge. When you finish the show, you go directly to the head judge and say, hey, Mr. Sibila, what do you suggest me for the next show for Andrea Muzi? He say me, Mauro, more thickness on the back, work more for detail, and then control much the belly, stomach.
Yeah.
Stomach is the most important situation when you step on stage. This year, what they're talking about, all bodybuilding industry, about Rami, the best posing. He started posing, he was last when he finished the posing.
Mm-hmm.
That was for me very important, because if you don't have a perfect presentation, it's not possible to think, I want to go to the Olympia. For me, to step on Olympia, to be perfect bodybuilder in every situation. You understand me?
So you saying you want to try and bring him in lighter with more detail for this year?
This year, approaching with Andrea will be more detailed and working more for the posing, to be not arrogant on the stage. This is my brother learned me. This is Milo Sarce. Milo Sarce is for me is the best poser and the best body in the history of bodybuilding. Because he say me every time, Mauro, you be confident, not arrogant from the judge. But every pose, when you switch the pose, when you change your last spread and go inside chest, control the stomach, squeeze the abs. This is for me is a professional bodybuilding. Sometimes some athletes don't consider posing very important. For me, blessing is the posing, symmetry, and condition. Condition I love because all my athletes come in condition.
A lot of people commented on Rami's posing being the first in and the last out of the pose, and it like you said, a lot of people did notice it. I've interviewed a lot of people. Somebody in this episode said Charles Griffen in this episode. He said it was definitely noticed that kind of level of posing.
Because I remember there or you make some interview there are with DJ. He posing with Rami 3 times in a day. 3 times.
3 times.
Not joke.
And cardio and training.
I believe because I was 2 weeks in the DJ house a long time ago. This is a discipline. We work in 1 hour style master and start to posing. Not for me, because with Rami. DJ ever coming to the old school, you know. Old school is like a focus on the bodybuilding, training, not too much social media, and because the stage cancel every picture, every filter, everything. I think that you come in the same old school like me, Jean, that you agree what I tell you now, because, you know, too much social sometimes.
Yep, too much. So with Andrea's midsection, as a coach, how would you advise Andrea to keep the midsection nice and tight as he kind of improves his physique?
Well, tell me one more time there. Understand the question, please.
How would you tell Andrea to keep his midsection as his coach, keep his midsection small as he improves?
Midsection? What is
the stomach. How would you keep his stomach nice and small whilst improving everything else?
Okay. Sometimes their bodybuilder don't consider the abdominal. They don't training or don't have a time, or is still too much focus in the other part of the body. The plank is the best exercise.
Plank. Wow. Okay.
Plank.
Yeah.
Still like
This
is rolling. Make the same rolling. Tell me there. We do like a plank. I don't know if it's correct the name, but then we stay on the floor and then squeeze the abs. 4 times you start at 30 seconds, 1 minute, and the goal will be 10 minutes constantly without stop. This is the best exercise, because I talk also with the Rolly. Rolly was in the same team.
He was the one that did that the best from 2013 to 2016 when he did the UK show. His waist went like that. It was incredible. Yeah,
the Rolly tell me that also he divide and eat very less in every meal. Don't eat a lot.
Yeah.
Because you have a more meal, like a 6, maximum 7 meal in the day, but with a short quantity of the food. This is very important to don't have a big belly. And also practically, and then control the stomach, the time when you step on stage and the time when you go out of stage. This is a focus and control. But if you practically during the day, like right now, they're talking with in interview, I do squeeze the abs. This is a control the stomach, and not only in the training, but during the day. I suggest that, Andrea, for the future, for the next show.
So less food volume per meal, and then the planks to keep the midsection nice and tight. Because Jean-Pierre Fuchs, he was on last week's episode, and he said he managed. He said his midsection went big. He said it wasn't even because of the growth hormone. He said it was to do with the amount of food he was eating. He said that's what he feels now, looking back, was what made his stomach bigger. That ruined his physique, really, effectively.
Gynecomastic and other, the stomach big is like a typical signal there. You use a lot stuff, a lot insulin, a lot growth hormone. But we do like if you have a control and then you practically training, don't to be problem. I repeat, because my experience with the other professional and also Marek, many others, they preparing like a big size, because big size is a lot food, a lot calorie.
Yeah.
They're not everybody control and work like a professional work for the abdominal.
Yeah.
This is very important, but not like 3 days before. This is like 20 weeks, 15 weeks before. Just right now, I suggest with Andrea that we started that plan.
So has Andrea started his prep yet?
What Andrea?
Has he started his contest prep yet?
Yes, of course. Andrea, now we start. Abbiamo iniziato la preparazione 9 settimane fa, no? Yes. 9 weeks ago, we start 9 weeks. Sorry, 6 weeks ago, then we start the planning, like a small off season, and now we have 2 weeks more. After that, we change the plan.
Yeah. Can you ask him how he's feeling about that? How he's doing?
Come ti stai trovando? Come sta andando? Come ti vedi?
Ma diciamo, vabbè, l'off season è quasi finita, perché la prossima settimana iniziamo la fase di taglio, quindi no, è andata benissimo. Abbiamo fatto un off media, insomma, con calorie abbastanza medie, non altissime, e infatti ho risposto bene comunque a 500 grammi di carboidrati giornalieri.
With the plan with Andrea is the body that don't need like too much dose of carbs, because especially in the loading or also in that small off season.
Yeah.
In that small off season, I call it small because it's not like a complete and real off season.
Yeah.
It's just 9 weeks, And after 9 weeks, we start to cut in carbs and try to come to condition, because, you know, the bodybuilder now, we need like a Dorian time. They say, Dorian said, this is a words of Dorian. I'm come not in the stress in the show, because I'm ready 2 weeks before. If you are ready, not ready for the stage, but your condition is like 89, 90% ready 2 weeks before, your body don't have a stress.
Yeah.
And then also is much better for mentality for the athlete.
So how does he feel about doing so many shows this year?
How do you feel?
How does he feel about doing so many shows if necessary? Is he okay with that?
The show, there we still remind the plan. What I tell you, they're like a first will be, I will try to every show better and better. Of course, that if you have a many show that you are compete, you have a many chance the judges see you, and that you have a many time for to resetting or make some refill for to doing and come in better condition.
Yeah.
Of course, the concurrent is a high level. But I don't think so that Andrea, I saw Andrea in comparison with Nathan, I saw with many big guys like Cedric, and Andrea don't have a big weak part when he step on the stage. I think that Andrea will need more, little bit detail, just 5%, but will be more sure. I hope so they understand me. They're more comfortable on stage. You know, so he's probably is not having too much experience for the fighting with a big name.
Yeah. What is? I mean,
believe more in his genetic. More believe. I talk him every time.
Plus, at 30 years old, he's almost kind of getting that muscle maturity in the next couple of years. Really, that's when his physique will really start to properly come together.
My opinion, there are bodybuilder is not like a soccer. Soccer 35, 40 years. Okay, only not Zlatan Ibrahimovic because he's never old. But my opinion, there we come 35, 36 is the best peak of the reaction with the muscle. Okay, cancel Dexter because Dexter is phenomenal. Dexter is the only one. He's not still like a 3 people like a Dexter.
Yeah.
My idea that Andrea have a more 4 or 5 year that we work a lot to try to compete on the Olympia stage, and also for the future. Why not to be in top 5?
Yeah.
And also top 5. The dream is for everybody. It's possible to dreaming.
So you're both with Yamamoto then? Yeah,
they're both still in the Yamamoto company. Like me, like a 5 year. Andrea 4.
So Andrea's been with Yamamoto 4 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Was he at San Marino in 2017? Was he there?
Yes.
San Marino on the stand.
Yeah, on stage. See.
Are you at stage? Yeah. Sorry, you're competing. Was he competing in the?
Avevi gareggiato 2017.
Sì. Che vinse la Procard Kaganovic.
Ok, tu non sei entrato nei 6, no?
No, sono arrivato settimo.
Okay. Andrea will place in 6th place. He was in amateur and then pro card.
Oh wow.
Non ha vinto no, Kaganovic ha vinto quell'altro, quel tedesco.
Che il tedesco ha vinto la categoria sotto, l'assoluto.
Ah, ok.
Kaganovic ha vinto la categoria mia.
His category won Dani Kaganovic, the guys from Israel.
Yes. Then he took 9th in the pro the next day. Yeah.
Overall won Tom Budishamp, the German guys, very beautiful athlete.
Tim Budisheim, he won the heavyweights and overall.
Yeah. And then in that show competed Theo Leguerrier. You know Theo from France?
Who, sorry?
It was heavyweight also, Theo Leguerrier. He was placing second or third place.
I don't remember that. No, because I didn't go to the amateur, but I saw the Tim Budisheim and I saw Danny, whatever his name is, in the pro show the next day. So I didn't realize you were there. Right, fantastic.
Yeah, I remember the Theo. Remember, I don't work in that time with him because he have a make a perfect routine, posing. I remind surprised for that, guys.
So who's Andrea's favorite bodybuilder, favorite physique of all time?
Ok, this is a big question.
Come on.
Qual è il tuo bodybuilder favorito della tua storia? Un favorito? Piace? Uno tuo che ti appassiona?
Big Ramy.
Ok, he's like a Big Ramy.
Big Ramy, all time, ever.
Yeah, Big Ramy is a new era, qualcosa dei tempi precedenti, un po' di più.
Wow.
Ronnie Coleman.
Okay, every time still
LeBron pure
Kevin or Ronnie and Rami in the final.
Wow, interesting. So he likes the really, really big physiques.
Yeah, no, ti piacciono proprio quelli grossi freak. Sì.
So how does he see his physique in, say, 5 years' time? Does he see him like a big Rami type size, or?
Il futuro del tuo fisico come lo vedi fra 4-5 anni? Più verso Big Rami?
o più?
No, dico, il futuro tuo lo vedi verso Big Rami o un volume minore?
Big Rami però comunque sia i volumi mi vedo comunque con volumi abbastanza grandi, cioè, nel senso non mi vedo ridimensionato, ecco, quindi non mi ridimensiono.
Of course, his process for his vision for his body was to be bigger and then still and remain symmetry. And then also Rami for him and for me is an untouchable. Rami is a one. This is a extraterrestrial for me.
What?
I saw him.
Hang on a minute. This I keep hearing this and I struggle with it because he's kind of been in condition once and now people are saying he's unbeatable. When for 7-8 years he was kind of getting beat regularly by a lot of different people. So is it just because of how he looks now, people now think that he's going to duplicate that and he's just going to be unbeatable?
You're talking about Rami?
Yeah. I keep hearing people saying they think Rami's untouchable, and it's like, well, he's only nailed it once.
You are a professional, loves bodybuilder like me. Tell me one name that you are give for possible to beat Rami.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, I think Rami's the only one that can beat Rami at the moment. I think he's the only one that can let himself down if he doesn't come in condition.
Yeah, but it's not possible because if for Rami come in condition, probably, for my opinion, also in Arnold 2020, remember, he was there.
He was very good.
Also in Arnold, for my opinion, nothing talking about William, not talking about Dexter. But for me, Rami was first place in Arnold. I talked with Milos.
First place.
For me, first, Milos say,
really?
For me, Bonac, I say,
really?
Milos, symmetry, condition. Is Rami everything?
I had him second. Number 2.
He was the. Always put you first.
He was third because you had William Bonac, you had Dexter, then you had Rami, but I had Rami second.
Yeah. It was difficult to judge him because it was two like a close to 212. Yeah. Is like a William and Dexter, and then two big guys. There was Rami. And Steve, Steve Kuklo was fourth place.
And Sergio was big as well.
Yes, but this was a little bit soft.
You think Sergio was soft at the Arnold Classic?
No, okay, not soft. Don't make me confused. Like, because I made a first interview in the Muscular.
So what was that you said about Sergio?
No, but for my idea, that Rami, for my idea, was first place in Arnold, and also Milos. I agree with me because in the prejudging say no, William, and the final say, wow, Mauro, you have a reason because for me Rami is possible to be first place. And then finally in Olympia he beat all guys there. Also their comeback, the Olympia he feel hit,
Yeah, were you happy to see Phil back?
Will be interesting to see Rami with Sean Roden only. I don't know. I think we all want to see Sean Roden. We want to see him come back on stage. I don't want that to be it. I don't want that to be it. And my opinion, only huge guys and they have proportion and everything is a Rolly. If a Rolly come like in 2017 or 18 in prejudging, I don't know if you was there in Olympia. The Rolly was amazing in prejudging.
Sorry, which show? 2018 Olympia.
When he was top 3, Rolly, remember?
The night show, the Saturday, he was sensational. That was when he was at his best.
I remember because I was just front of stage.
Yeah.
Their prejudging was easy, number 1. And after, he lost the oil in the body, he's come to be, he was third place, remember, in the final. It was Roden, Sean Roden, and Phil, and the Rolly.
Yeah.
So only time that we come in my mind is possible to make a big fighting with Rolly in the top condition. So
has Andrea trained with any of the other Yamamoto athletes? or is he friends with them, or
like how do you feeling?
has he trained with any of the other Yamamoto athletes?
Sei allenato con altri atleti della Yamamoto, Andrea? Cioè con Presti, con Flex, con
Complessi. Con Flex abbiamo parlato prima della gara. Solo con Presti mi sono allenato da Yamamoto.
Okay, there Andrea is just training with only one guy with Andrea Presti because he's still with the same country and then we're training together because Andrea Presti is very good motivator during the training.
Okay.
And with the Flex is just talking before the show and with the other athlete no.
Yeah. So has he been to America before? Has he been yet?
What do you say?
Has Andrea been to America yet?
In America?
Yeah. Has he been yet?
Yeah, he was in Olympia. It was like invite and work in the boat with the Yamamoto, and then but just he go to see the show. It's not like for competition or other situation.
Yeah. So hopefully in 2021 he'll be on stage at the Olympia in Florida.
I don't know.
Come on. I think
I hope so.
Andrea Muzi in Olympia.
Yes, that's what we want to hear. Yeah. No, I think it's no, seriously, because he's got the size, he's got the proportions, he's got a really good shape, really good lines. Like you said, he just needs a little bit more detail. I think a little bit more chest thickness, detail in the back, and everything. I think he's going to come together really well. I could definitely see him at the Olympia this year.
Okay, thank you for the good preview, Giles. I hope so. Cross the finger.
Yeah, cross the finger. Right. Okay, guys. This has been fantastic, and I really appreciate you taking the time. And obviously, it's good to get you on this because I wanted to get you on as a guest as well. So when you said you were going to translate for Andrea, I was like, great! I got 2 for the price of 1.
Okay.
So Andrea Presti and Mauro Sassi, thank you for the time, and all the best with all the shows. And we hope to see you in Orlando in October 7th to 10th.
There are Andrea Muzi, not Andrea Presti. It's a boat, Andrea. This is Andrea Presti.
Sorry,
Andrea,
did I say Presti?
Yeah, you said Presti.
It's not even that late, so I can't use that as an excuse. Sorry, Andrea Muzi. Sorry, I was distracted there. Sorry. So yeah, Andrea Muzi, Andrea Presti. Yeah, you can wait.
Probably for the future new interview with Andrea.
Yeah. You're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get them both on the same time. It's very, very confusing.
Okay, no problem. I really appreciate your invite.
All right, then, Mauro and Andrea, thank you so much, and I'll hopefully see you in Orlando in October.
Oh, okay. I hope so.
All right, then, guys. Thank you so much, and speak to you very soon.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank
you, Andrea. Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we are joined all the way from Ohio, 1995 Arnold Classic champion, Mike Francois. Yay! Mike.
How are you?
How's that for an intro, mate?
That's very good. Thank you.
Mike, I'm doing really well, mate. Thank you. And really, really happy to have you on MD Global Muscle, finally.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's fun to do.
Yeah. So, Mike, right, for the sake of some of the newer sort of viewers and people who maybe don't follow the sport, right the way back to the 90s, that's such a competitive era.
Right.
Like, you turned pro at the 1993 NPC Nationals. Now, I mean, the standard of the Nationals back then was so high, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Nationals. Well, in those days, I hate to, I'm sure you've gone over this incessantly, but the Nationals used to be the only way really to the pros. When I competed in it, there was the Nationals and the USA, I think, allowed the overall winner to go. And then the Nationals was every weight class winner would have the opportunity to turn pro. And now there's just so many more opportunities, and which is great for the athletes. But, I think in a sense it waters it down. I mean, there's guys that would be at the national level still that moved on to the pros because there's more opportunity to do so. And as well they should, if that's what they want to do. So. But it was tough. I mean, you had guys like Dennis Newman, Edgar Fletcher. Edgar never turned pro even.
Poor Edgar.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many good guys that, I'm glad to have, at the time you have no idea. You think it's going to be like that all the time. But so you didn't really think about that at the time. But now looking back, it was stacked. There was a lot of good guys. and very lucky to have won it.
I mean, like going back, like the USAs and the nationals around that time. I mean, pretty much all those guys that were in that top 5 that kept going, they all turned pro, like Ronnie Coleman, Paul DeMeo, yourself, Dennis Newman, even though he never really competed because obviously he got leukemia.
Right.
I mean, it's a list of Kevin Navarone, Flex Wheeler. I mean, Chris Cormier. I mean, that was a real, like, such an ultra competitive time. And literally a year later, guys like Flex Wheeler and yourself were just winning pro shows straight away.
Yeah, it's again, it's one of those things. I think at the time, you're just kind of plowing through it. You just head down, go to work, and but looking back, I won my first 4 pro shows, and just so. I mean, I say that just because it's just, to me, it's a whole other life. It seems like it wasn't even me. So because there's so many years between now and then, but at the same time, I look at it with a lot of pride, and it was a lot of hard work and a lot of people supporting me and helping me get there. And just things have to fall into place. I mean, you have to stay injury free. You have to pick the right shows. You just don't know who's going to be on, who's going to be off. So there's so many things that play into it that at the time you're not thinking about, but looking back, there's a lot of luck involved too, I think.
Well, yeah, I suppose a lot of luck. I mean, let's go back from, say, like 93 to like 95. That was the era when Dorian Yates was winning the Olympia. You had Flex Wheeler, winning his first 2 pro shows. Or was it 3 pro shows? It was a time where there was a lot of excitement, a lot of different things going on. It was kind of a very, very, very ultra competitive time where everyone was bringing their A game. Chris Cormier, it was just, and the thing is, I was just going over, I was thinking about you today, and I was thinking, like, back then, really, the number 1 show was always the Olympia. Number 2 was the Arnold Classic. Number 3 was always Night of Champions. You won the 1994 Night of Champions. Was that your second? Would have been your second pro win, correct?
Yeah. It was Chicago Pro Show the weekend before, actually.
Yeah.
And then the Night of Champions the next weekend.
Yeah. So, I mean, to win your first 2, like kind of Flex Wheeler did in 93, to win your first 2 pro shows, and they weren't small pro shows, they were huge, huge pro shows.
Yeah, there's a lot of good guys, even at those shows, and there were so many guys. I think in Night of Champions, there had to be 30-some guys there. And Nasser, Nasser, so he got second, and there's a lot of good guys. I can't remember exactly all the people, but I know in sense I've looked back. I don't know why. Sometimes you're looking at lists of people that competed in the shows, because when you're there, you're focused on maybe the top 2 or 3 or 4 guys you think you would have to battle it out with. But then when you look at the whole lineup, there's good guy after good guy. So, it's amazing.
So you're back. Are you from Columbus in Ohio?
Yeah, I lived there, and I grew up in Iowa.
Right.
Yeah, I moved here, in totally in 1990-ish, right there.
So before you were in California, you were training at Gold's Gym, correct?
No, I did just here and there. I went out there to train. Ed Connors, I'd stay with him and train for a week or 2 at a time, but I always lived here.
Yeah. No, because the reason I'm saying that is because, I mean, obviously a lot of bodybuilders made they would go and stay at Ed Connors, or they would just go and get an apartment and then train there for a few months. Kind of like Dexter Jackson does when he goes from Florida to LA to train with Charles Glass. Because a friend of mine, this is going back over 20 years. And it was a friend of mine from Ireland, and he went over because he was fanatical about bodybuilding, and he managed to get himself a job. I think it would have been I'm sure he said Gold's Gym, because that's where he used to train, correct?
Sure, yes.
So, yeah, and he said he was just trying to basically, I think he was living on the beach at the time, and he was doing the graveyard shift. So he was doing like the crazy one where there was very few people in the gym. And he said he used to work on the front desk, and he remembered because he said you would train very, very, very early.
Yeah, I did train early. Compared to the California guys.
Yeah, well, he said to me, and he said, no, Giles, he says, Mike Francois, he said, I feel so privileged to be able to have seen Mike train, because he would come in so early when the gym was so quiet. He said, and he was telling me like 700-pound squats with no knee wraps, and he said he'd just be there training by himself. And he said you were like so ridiculously strong. He said so few people witnessed it.
Yeah, my training was always heavy, powerlifting style with some, with the bodybuilding, kind of powerlifting, bodybuilding. But yeah, that's the way I lifted. I noticed when I was out there training, I mean, you would see how guys trained, and not that they didn't have phenomenal physiques, and they still do, but the heavy training just wasn't their thing as much those days. Then I'm not sure how it is now, but that's why I trained, and I usually always trained early in the morning. I still get up early in the morning actually and train at home now. So it's just something I like to get it done earlier in the day. And I know when I was out there, I didn't really want to go in the middle of the day when so many people would be in the gym and you really couldn't focus on what you're doing. So that's why.
So did you originally train as like kind of Ronnie Coleman did? Were you a power lifter first and then a bodybuilder second, or were you a power bodybuilder? If that makes sense.
I'd say power bodybuilder, but I never, when I went to college in Dubuque, Iowa. They had a YMCA there. So I went there to train, and just inevitably there's going to be power lifter type guys in there that were worried about heavy bench presses and things. And a couple of them competed, and I maybe did a bench press or contest or two here and there, but not really any real competitive powerlifting. But that's the style of lifting I was around more than anything else. And then obviously in high school and things like that, for athletic purposes, I lifted. So.
Yeah, so you never thought about trying powerlifting separately or
No, I mean, no, never really did. I just did. I don't know why. I like lifting heavy, but I don't know, just never really competitively did it.
Yeah. What my friend noticed, he said you squatted very, very deeply. And I think that's how you got those big lower quads.
Yeah. The form had to be good. All along I've had people who stressed form with me, whether it's even in high school, quite honestly, and all the way through. So I just learned. I was lucky. I mean, like I said, luck intervenes in a lot of this, and I just had the right people at the right times in my career that helped me along. Whether it was, Ed Connors, some financial help in the beginning, and just kind of taking me under his wing like he does with a lot of people, and all the way from that kind of help to training to spiritual help to, just guidance in my career and what to do career-wise. So all along, I've had the right people at the right times, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Do you know how many people? Because I mean, we're on our 89th episode on here, and we have multiple guests per episode. And I've been doing this for 26 years. I've been interviewing bodybuilders. Do you know how many people have mentioned Ed Connor's name as someone that reached out? Flex Lewis mentioned it. Jean-Pierre Fuchs, wasn't it last week, Colin? Jean-Pierre Fuchs said, because we had him on last week, and and his name just keeps popping up and up and up. And even today, he's still. I just wondered, like, where so many athletes would have been if it hadn't been for someone like Ed Connors giving that offer of friendship and that offer of help.
Yeah, it would have been very, very difficult. Maybe it wouldn't have happened for me. I don't know. I mean, since it did happen, I don't know what if it wouldn't have happened. But he got in touch with me early on. I remember, and I thought, I don't know this guy. I was just naive. I had no idea. Should I call this guy? He gave me his card. I think it was after I won the show they called Muscle Mania.
Yes.
It was on ESPN. Lose Wick, I think, hosted it.
Lose Wick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think Ed actually gave me his card after one of those shows, or after the show I did in Chicago. And I don't know if I ever got back to him really. And then he kind of followed me along, I think, then the USA. And then he contacted me again, I think, come and stay. After you get done with the show, come and stay and you and your wife. And so Shannon and I stayed with him just for, a week or whatever it was where I did photo shoots, and then came back, and then just kind of the friendship started up, and then I started, he started helping me in other ways and things. So yeah, I mean, he was amazing. And I think he's still very relevant as far as helping some people here and there from what I hear, even though I'm not in close touch with really anybody that much in that regard, but very grateful for Ed, and I know a lot of people have the same story.
Yeah, I think it was Flex Lewis really told me at length he said he was staying with him, and he said he reeled off 2 or 3 other names that are also staying with him at the same time, and it's like, I love hearing stuff from people who just genuinely want to help these young athletes kind of get a leg up, Yeah,
and he did. I mean, he genuinely wanted to help people. He took me, I remember we went on a trip to the World Championships. We're in Graz, Austria.
Yeah.
And Ed asked if I wanted to fly over there with him. So we went over there. Then afterwards, and mine, he took care of everything. I mean, it was phenomenal. And a kid that had never been on to Europe at all and things like that, I was just like, wow. Then I got a lift wherever I went, worked out, and met a lot of people. So after that, then we took the train up to Munich and stayed there and toured around for a little bit, and then came back to the U.S. So, but just things like that Ed did and still does for people, guys. And it turns out I grew up in Iowa, and 70 miles from where Ed grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. So.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's amazing. He's a good man. He's a good man.
Good. Do you look back and kind of and reminisce fondly of those days and when you trained in California and when it was kind of in, when Gold's Gym was really like, so its heart and soul was fully bodybuilding,
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't look at it like that. And for me, it was a dream. It was a fairy tale. I mean, there's so many things, different angles that are just foreshadowing of me going out there. I mean, quick story. I mean, we have 9 kids. So
9 kids.
Yeah, and my mom and dad did, and so I have. So my dad and then 2 of my younger brothers went to California, stayed with a friend of or actually a relative in Pasadena, and then he took us down to Venice Beach. I remember we wanted to go there, and I was at the time I just graduated from college, and so he took us down there, and it was just seeing that, it was just magical for me, and to think all these years later, I would have gone out there and trained and hung out and did photo shoots on the beach and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's just amazing memories. Amazing.
I'd love to have seen I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I'd love to have seen a video shoot or a photo shoot you trained with Barbarian Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because they were like really strong guys like yourself. Because I remember, because there's something really kind of cool about, like Ronnie Coleman. He had the physique and he was brutally strong. There's something that fans really, really can get on board with when you find a bodybuilder with a really good physique that's also really, really powerful in the gym.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be many anymore either. I don't know what it is about that. Things have changed. I'm not going to be that old curmudgeon-y guy, but things have changed. I mean, just don't go in the gym and see that young kid pounding the heavy weights and focused on what he's doing and not looking in the mirrors so much and on his phone. And you just don't see it anymore. I don't see it. And I train in a, pretty decently for this area hardcore gym, and you just don't seem to. I don't know if it's mindset. I'm not sure if it's just the way things are. I'm not saying the physiques are totally terrible, but I just think they could be so much more.
I personally, I think there's no room for unless you're an athlete. I don't know what's the rules. Phones in gyms shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, it would be nice if everybody just had to turn them in and at the door and get them on their way out. Yeah, but that's, I don't know.
I think a lot of people just leave that gym, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Yeah. So obviously when you won the Night of Champions, that was a huge, NASA was kind of on the way up. He was just, because he was kind of, it was like 95 when he was just kind of stepping up. He was making third at the Olympias. And, then obviously the 1995, you came back and you did, you won the other really big bodybuilding show, the Arnold Classic, up against Flex Wheeler, Andreas Munzer, Aaron Baker, Lila Brada. What was that like?
That was great. And the fact that I was in, my hometown made it even better, just because all the people that I, was around in the gym that knew me, that I knew could be there to support me, as opposed to having it be somewhere, off Atlanta or wherever, somewhere else that people wouldn't be able to be there. So I was able to share it with all those people. So that was number one, really. And then just, all that hard work. And there's another story behind that. So when my wife and I think before we're even married or just married, maybe before we're married, it was probably the second year. Well, it would have been 89. No, 1990. So second year, third year of the Arnold. We drove by the auditorium where it used to be, Veterans Auditorium in Columbus. And, and we thought, let's just park the car and walk up there and just see. I don't know if she had been there before. I hadn't been there at all. And so we walked up to the door. No one was really stopping people for tickets there. So we walked in that door, walked in another door. Next thing you know, we're in the auditorium. Yeah. And so we went up the balcony and watched the show, what was left of the show. And again, to think, that 5 years later I'd be winning the show, even on that stage, let alone winning the show, I would have thought you're crazy. So yeah. So anyway.
Over your shoulder, you've got the Most Muscular Award. Did you win that in 95 as well?
Yeah. Yep.
because usually that is when the person gets that, they usually kind of go, "Oh, I've got second."
Yeah, it happens.
So you got
hopefully
both.
they're being honest with that one.
Yeah, no, because you got both that year. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even really know they gave him Most Muscular until I think Franco Colombo brought it out.
Yeah.
From what I remember. And so that was nice to have met him too along the way.
Yeah. No, I did, because like I said, normally, like typically when someone gets that, that's the consolation prize, and second, and they're going, "Oh shit," Flex Wheeler's won it again. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean it's you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the judging, they can kind of, there was opposing rounds, so they can kind of make things, if you wanted to change things up a little bit, you could, and you just don't know. And that's why it makes it even better though when you do win. It's more even more I guess satisfaction.
Yeah.
But
plus 1995, I mean, obviously 93 was when Dorian came along at 257 at the Olympia, and he kind of just completely took everything to a whole new level. And then it was like, and then that was kind of 2 years later, that Arnold Classic was when Lee Labrada did his last ever pro show, because he's like, okay, I think I've got as far as I can. We're coming into a new era now. Guys like Dorian came along in 92, 93, and then yourself in 94, 95, the big, super dense, like 250 plus guys. That was it was kind of like, did you feel like it was like kind of like a changing of the guard in some ways?
Yeah, looking back, it was. Again, it's one of those things I think at the time, you're just trying to put the best physique out there you can put out.
Yeah. But
yeah, Dorian changed the game. It was a game changer. Obviously, those photos that came out of him in the 6 weeks out or whatever it was. But that was just amazing. And he's still my favorite of all time. I think I just, the physique he put out, and just he epitomized Mr. Olympia. I mean, he built that physique. It wasn't anything God necessarily blessed him with. He worked hard, and so I don't know. That's just that, and I like his mentality. I like just the quiet. Let's get it done. I'm not just gonna show people on stage, and we'll send these pictures out, and people can see what I've done. Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you how good I am. I'm gonna show you how good I am. So that's. I mean, I not tried to emulate that, but that's the reason I guess I was attracted to it, because that's the kind of mindset I had as well. And obviously he had better results in the end than I did, but. That's my mindset.
The thing is, I remember reading in Flex magazine back in the day when I was obviously younger and stuff, and I remember like Peter McGough saying, "There's a guy in America that's kind of like the guy in the UK, Dorian. He's got the same sort of muscularity. He's got the freaky back. He's got they've got the freaky body part. He's got the same kind of density and conditioning." And I remember they were really kind of pitching, and you'd won the Night of Champions, you'd won the Arnold Classic, and it was really like, okay, have we got a real contender for Dorian here? Yeah.
I liked Peter. Peter was phenomenal. I kind of let those guys talk about that, but in my mind, I don't know if I would have been up again, who knows, but I just wish I would have been able to keep going a little bit longer before I got sick, and we'll probably talk about that. But the thing is, I gave it everything I had when I had the opportunity, and I wish I would have had more opportunities to do it a longer period of time, but it just didn't happen.
Well, like Dorian's career lasted 7 years, and then you got guys like Dexter Jackson lasting 21. There is always, I think, a predetermined shelf life, whether it's the way you train or whether it's luck or bad luck, like you with the colitis, But at the end of the day, you went, from 1993, a year later. You're turning pro. Less than a year later, you're winning like the third biggest pro show in the world. A year later, you're winning the second biggest pro show in the world. And people are actually kind of pitching you as is this the guy that could take out Dorian Yates?
Right. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I just wish I would have been able to do it. So, unless I've done it, I just hate to even say much about it because it just didn't happen. But I wish it would have. Who knows? I look up to Dorian, and I wish I would have had a better opportunity with a better physique to take him on later. So. Yeah,
I remember when Peter wrote in Flex magazine, he introduced you to, and I don't know what I think, and he said that Dorian was I think Dorian just grunted or just shook hands or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. We did a photo shoot together.
Yeah.
In so I can't remember. It was in California. Yeah. No, I mean. Not in a stupid way, but I was, in awe of him. I mean, he's Dorian Yates, and he's right there, and I'm doing a photo show with him. It was very neat to be able to do, and again, grateful for Peter for setting that up, because sure the last thing Dorian wanted to do was a photo shoot with me, but you know, and I think honestly Ronnie was there too before we even did our session. I think Ronnie had I think that was the time, but I know a couple of times when I went in for photos, Dorian was there and Ronnie was there, and that's when I was doing my thing too. So it was pretty cool looking back. I mean, those are all things. I wish I had a cell phone at that time. A little bit. Or let's have my wife do it. I don't want to bring it into the gym myself.
yeah. Just like, guys, just group round. I want to get a picture, please. You know, this is the one time we bring the phone into the gym. So one thing I'd really like to know: why did you never come and do one of the Grand Prix tours after the Olympias?
Oh, man, you know what?
That really annoyed me.
I know the one time after the Chicago Mr. Olympia. Well, I'll tell you exactly. The first time I can't remember, but the second Olympia, I had this is stupid, but I had an ingrown toenail that I had to have removed a week before the Olympia, a week or two before. And every time you did cardio, it just jammed in there further. So I had to have it removed. Yeah. And I just wasn't in any mood to go traipsing around Europe with, you know, having to make sure I didn't get an infection or whatever. And then the next Olympia, the last one was, I was in the hospital 3 weeks. I think it was 3 weeks before with the colitis.
Was that 97?
Yeah, that was 97. And so I did not want to. I mean, I just couldn't. I mean, I just health-wise couldn't do it. So those are the reasons. I can't remember the first one. Why that would have been perfect, I think, for me actually, because I ended up getting 7th in that Olympia, the first one, and I think I would have. If I would have done things right, I could have gotten better. I think maybe. Yep. But during that little string of shows, but. So those pretty much the reasons why. Yeah.
So when did you start noticing the effects of the colitis? When did it become apparent?
Well, it became apparent really when I was getting ready for that Olympia. I started my diet, and things were just going. The food was just going right through me, and I just didn't know. And Chris Aceto was my nutrition guy.
Okay.
And good friend still, and so we were trying to work our way through it. Thought, you know, sometimes you change your diet abruptly, or you do something different. Things like that can happen, which I get. That's fine. But it just wouldn't go away. So that's when I noticed it. And then looking back, I mean, I can see it in my physique. I can see the symptoms because it's just the upper abs. There was no body fat there, but they looked kind of like almost just like a weird watery look. And I can see that in pictures, the difference between. Even when I won the Arnold to like that shortly thereafter is when I look back and see the difference. So that's looking back. That's what I see. At the time, I really noticed it before that Olympia. And then, like I said, I had to be hospitalized for a night or two or whatever. I never told anybody. I didn't want to tell Weider, obviously. I didn't want to lose my contract. And not that I necessarily would have, but you never know. So that's when I first noticed it. And this got really bad. I was on prednisone and all these crazy things before a show, which is so detrimental, but went through with it. And then that's when I came back, stayed on the medicines, and then it went away to the point where the doctor said, go ahead and get ready for the Arnold. And I was anyway, as far as the training and whatnot. So I did full bore, and then it came back. And then that time the medicines wouldn't work at all.
Was it painful?
Yeah, it was painful. Just like this. It's so hard to explain. When you're not in pain, it's hard to explain pain. But it was just this terrible, just like burning inside. And I mean, not just like heartburn burning. It's painful. And then, you know, on top of that, you know, food's going right through you. So there's literally 30 trips to the restroom a day and things like that. So you can't eat the food. You can't do any of the things you need to do to get ready. And the training, I was training. And what I noticed too was, I forgot to say this, but I was like, what is wrong with me? I kept getting nauseous. I never really got nauseous during training. I mean, you know, I'd had hard workouts where you feel a little bit, but this was to the point where I was really, really nauseous. And it was doing simple things like curls, like anything, exerting myself. So that's when I thought something was wrong. And then when I started my diet, I saw the food was going through. And so
what is it? Is it inflammation of the colon? Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. And then mine got to the point where it was inflamed, and then it started ulcerating. So it started just disintegrating the colon. So now every other commercial you see on TV, at least over here, is a colitis commercial. How we we got the drug for it. I tell my wife every time it comes on, I'm like, man, if we'd have just had that, I know I'd probably bodybuild for another 4 years or 5 years or whatever. But anyway.
Oh well. So what causes it? Yes, that's why it's done that. So what causes it though? What causes it? Is it?
You know, my family, it's on both sides.
Right.
And so I think it's a genetic thing with me. And I think on top of that, bodybuilding, you know, the diet is every 2 hours you're eating. So I think it doesn't allow your colon to rest. Maybe a normal person who ate 2 or 3 times a day, they would have enough time in between meals that they would be able to, that wouldn't be such an issue, or at least it wouldn't be as acute as mine was. But mine, being a bodybuilder, eating every 2 hours, it just irritated it. And so it got to the point where it just would never heal up.
Yeah. I think I was speaking to a bodybuilder actually in this episode, and he was saying he's just had like a break of a few months, and he said one of the best things he did was going down to like 3 meals a day and not worrying about protein. And because I remember like in the mid-90s, NASA, you know, the guys were all supersizing and wanting to kind of catch Dorian and get bigger and bigger and 250, 260, 270. And I remember NASA pushed his protein up to 500 grams a day. Jean-Pierre Fuchs said his stomach grew because he was just eating so much. The volume of food was just, you know, it kind of caught. That's what kind of caused a lot of the health issues. The constant pummeling of the. Jay Cutler said the most dangerous thing for bodybuilders to do is the overeating and the volume of food, and you've got to take a break at some point.
No, I believe in that, and I think I would have probably at the time done colon cleanses and all that maybe for a little bit for a few days. But your mindset, like you were saying, is just to catch the next guy. And so you just keep pressing. You think, if I don't eat all the food I need today, somebody's going to pass me or catch me, or I'm not going to make the progress I could make. And I think I thought like that when it came to training, nutrition, and whatever, but you'd probably be further ahead, like Jay was saying, just to cut back and at least, a week or two. It's not going to hurt anything. If anything, it's going to help. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, you do coaching now. So if you were coaching someone who was in that position that you were in then, what would you advise them, given what you know now?
Well, what I know now, I mean, I think the medicines the doctors would prescribe would help them. But as far as not allowing it to get to that point, I think I would prescribe. I think I have recently just told people, a colon cleanse every once in a while wouldn't be a bad thing. Especially the bigger guys who are eating the volume, like you said, of food that, and some people just aren't eating that big a volume. They're eating a lot of times, but not a lot at one setting. I mean, there were times when I was beginning, I was eating 10,000 calories a day.
Wow.
And so, it wasn't the whole time, but it was when I was trying to really get more muscle. So
it's funny because Chris Aceto, someone that was one of the first ones to really introduce carb cycling for prepping.
Right.
And now you're kind of getting guys who are not protein cycling, but they're in the off season, they are saying, right, okay, then I really need to lower my protein because, there's, like you said, colitis and all these other, it's kind of, it's something that can cause problems.
Yeah, there can be a lot of ailments from it. And our bodies just aren't made to digest that much at one time. So, I'm not necessarily a fan of getting up in the middle of the night and eating either, but the more you could spread them out, probably the better off you would be. And like you said, not only the carbs, but the protein and probably the fats and just everything, maybe cycling each one for a little bit, maybe a 6-week period, 2 weeks, maybe bring your fats down, 2 weeks, bring your carbs down, 2 weeks, bring your protein down. Yeah. It's not going to hurt anything, but the mindset of bodybuilders.
Yeah. So
a little is good, more is better. And
yeah. So in 98, we kind of, you and Dorian kind of just, left the scene. And now, I see a lot of, like Jean-Pierre Fuchs, he's doing coaching, the people like yourself promoting shows, coaching people. What in that period where you stepped completely away from the industry, what were you doing?
Nothing for about a year. I was lucky. I had a contract with Weider, and when I got sick, he didn't have to. My contract expired, but he kept me on for an extra year.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, when they talk about Joe being kind of a bad guy, or you hear things, I think everything they said about Joe, probably bad and good, are both true. I mean, he was, a hardcore businessman, because that's first and foremost what he is, what he was. But he had a big heart too. And I think there's probably a lot of things you don't even know that he did to help people. And that's, I remember he could have cut my contract and he gave me an extra year to help me get on my feet and decide what I was going to do. And I mean, we were kind of talking about, coming back, but I think everybody knew that wasn't going to happen for me. So, no, I was grateful, always grateful for that. And I'll never say a bad thing about the guy. He helped me out a lot.
Do you know, Flex Wheeler and Jean-Pierre Fuchs told me exactly the same when Flex Wheeler had his car accident, when Jean-Pierre Fuchs tore his quads, within this squatting accident. He said, no, look, we'll support you. And he did. He did honor that.
Yeah.
He didn't have to.
No, I remember, as a matter of fact, here's how the yin and the yang of it. He, not he directly, but, when you're a Weider athlete, you're supposed to only do things with Weider, right? So Ironman, muscle and fitness, shape, I think, or whatever. But when I was in the hospital, was it Muscle Mag in Canada?
Yeah.
I was friends with them over the years from doing a lot of different things in their stores and whatnot before I was with Weider. And so they would call the hospital and they would talk. I was never really coherent, but one of my family members or somebody in the room, it was just days dial up. So they'd pick up the phone and they'd start talking. They'd say who they were, and they were friends of mine and from Muscular or Muscle Mag. And so they just talked to my family, just kind of catching up on what's going on. When I got out of the hospital, I remember they called me and they were friends. So I was talking to them kind of like we're talking. And so they turned it into an article.
Yeah.
And, and so the next thing I know, I'm getting a letter from, I think it was Bernie Cartoon. That's his name. He was one of Weider's attorneys.
Yeah.
They took a check from me. So they took a month's check from me. And it's right when I got home from the hospital. I'm thinking, oh, geez.
Oh, no.
Kick in the butt. But at the same time, after that contract expired, after that year, whenever my year was up for that contract, they signed me for another year. So that's kind of the good and the bad of it, right? I mean, business, he took care of business. They had to enforce their contract with me, but at the same time, they gave me an extra year.
So how did you, I know with Dorian, he kind of went from one extreme to the other. When he knew he couldn't do the 98 Olympia and he announced at FIBO he wasn't going to be doing the Olympia because he couldn't train properly because obviously the biomechanics with the torn tight tricep and the bicep on the same arm, he kind of went down a bit of a hole. He went crazy. He went completely away from bodybuilding. He hated bodybuilding. And so where were you at mentally with the whole... Were you just right? Okay, if I can't be a bodybuilder, I am not interested. Or how did you feel?
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's tough because when I didn't identify myself. My whole self-worth wasn't tied up in Mike Francois, the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's more to me than that, and my wife made sure that's the way I thought. But deep down, you're thinking, man, all these things I wanted to achieve. Beating Dorian, all that kind of stuff, winning the Olympia, hopefully winning the Arnold more times, it's gone. And you can't explain that to anybody. Unless you've been there, it's just hard to explain. And I think about it every day almost.
Do you still?
Not to the point where I get down about it, but I do think about, and then every year, not this year, but when the Arnold's in this town every year. So, I'm hit the face with it every year. And, hey, why don't you go down there? Come. I'm just like, it's on one side, there's a lot of good people that I want to talk to and just say hi to again. And on the other side of things, it's like, I want to be as far away as I can possibly be from this right now.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the dichotomy between the two. And but I didn't get to the point where I was really super depressed over like maybe Dorian was, or do some crazy stuff. Like I said, my wife kept me centered, I guess. And my faith in God was the most important thing. And my family just helped me through it. Like I said, I have a large family, so a ton of support, and everybody was, there the every step of the way, and so that made it easier. And life goes on. I realized life goes on, and I remember at one point my wife said, "You got to figure out what you want to do."
Yeah.
She just gave me a kick in the butt, and that's what I thought. I thought about a lot of things. I thought everything from, I have a degree in philosophy, and I was thinking about teaching. I was thinking about maybe law school, and I thought, you know what? I built up my name and my reputation and knowledge in the area of training. Why don't I try that? So that's what I've been doing ever since. So, but it's been, Yeah, and then promoting our show as well with my wife.
So is it July 11th or 21st for your
our show? July 17th.
So 17th, July 17th, the Mike Francois Classic. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is our 25th year actually.
Wow,
so,
25! Yeah. I thought it was a new thing.
No, 25 years. We started it my last year. My last year I competed, 97. That's when we had for the first time. So, so it's been, the thing cycles. There's years where we have, an unbelievable amount of athletes, and the whole thing ebbs and flows. But we've been putting it on that long. We've been supported by great sponsors, and the city of Columbus supports our show hugely. And we're grateful to have it. And it's a way to give back. We started as a way because it was kind of waning. The sport, the amateur thing in Ohio anyway was kind of going a little bit south, and that's when we thought, we could maybe partner up and take this show to a better level, and so we did. And then we ended up just taking it over for ourselves, and that's when it grew a lot, and we've had it, from the days of I think the first year we had it was the first year they had women's. I think they called it women's fitness then, or they had to do a little routine with it, which has kind of died out now. It's ironic because bodybuilding is compared to men's physique and things, the numbers aren't as great. So it's interesting that the two sports were bodybuilding and women's fitness, and now those are kind of taking a back seat to some other things. But overall, we have a great show every year, and we're having it at a new venue this year because of the epidemic. People are not allowing things to happen in schools yet. So even though it'd be the middle of the summer and no kids would be there, so it's kind of interesting. But so we're in a hotel. We're out at a Marriott hotel in Columbus, and so looking forward to it. And I think it allows more time for things to kind of settle down too over here.
Yeah, I can imagine 25 years of promoting a show. I bet you've seen so many changes in the industry and the rise of all these new categories, and like you said, other ones kind of dying off a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen a big change. I mean, it's one of those things where, just everything from registration, you send it in the post office and you go look in your mailbox and you get a bunch and you're happy, to now that it's all online, and the different judges for the different groups of people and just all these different categories. And really the interesting thing is the people that you meet along the way. I mean, just everything from housewives to doctors to other trainers to school teachers to just people with everyday jobs coming together to compete in the same sport. It's pretty neat.
See, I've spoke to people like Vince Taylor, Charles Claremont, and I'm so glad you've kept your show going because, like, I've sensed in some of the the 90s legends, people like yourself, that you can sense there's like a little bit of sadness or a bit of that you can see there's elements of the industry that they miss, but it's almost like some of them don't know where they could have a place in it. And I said to Charles Claremont, I said, look, because he just started doing some posing classes, because obviously he's such a great poser. And I was really he was kind of unsure about it. And I said, no, Charlie, I said, you have a lot. I don't think you realize how much you guys have to offer the industry. Like just because you're not up on stage, at 250 shredded, doesn't mean that you can't contribute and get, and like you're coaching. So your JD Dewadu does coaching now, and you can see he's thriving on it. He's back training, and he's, they kind of find a new role that gives them a new purpose and a new kind of, a new purpose in the industry,
Yeah, no, I think so too. And that's hard for me too. I get it. I mean, I think and somewhat we liked being bigger. We think that's what people want. And if there's a bigger guy, he's training people, they're going to go to this guy. And that, when I first started, I thought, man, I don't look like I used to. Is that doesn't affect anything? If anything, it probably helps.
Doesn't.
It probably helps you because you're not going to get the average. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, and this is things people told me, so it's not like but I mean, the average woman or even some guys, they're going to be a little intimidated by some of that. So when you come in and you're just 280-pound shredded guy, a lot of people just aren't even going to approach you. So you're better off business-wise, looking the part, being in shape, and they probably know your history. But you know what? I like it when people come to me. They have no idea who I am as far as my background in bodybuilding, because that means they're coming to me because they've heard good things about my training or about me in general.
Fantastic.
And about what I can do for them or hopefully help them. Yeah. So to me, that means more than, hey, I'm going to him just because he won the Arnold Classic. Or because he's this big, huge guy. I'd rather have them come to me because they feel like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, it frustrates me sometimes when you see someone does one local show and then they're providing online coaching, or they do one decent posing routine and they're posing coaches, and you think, you know, someone like yourself, you've got. I mean, when did you start training? Probably late 80s, mid 80s.
I trained in high schools just as far as, but yeah, as far as late 80s, as far as bodybuilding goes. So
how much knowledge and how much, you know, in the trenches experience, hands-on experience have you got to be able to pass that on to somebody else?
Oh, I know. It is. It's huge. And some of it you don't realize because you've been at it so long. But there's a lot of people, like you said, who, you know, and they may or not be good. Who knows? But, you know, with a year's experience, I mean, I can't imagine. It's kind of like driving a car. I mean, one of my sons starting to drive, and he thinks he knows as much as I do. I've been at it, buddy, you know, for 40 years. You've been at it for less than a year and you have your learner's permit. So just listen to me on this. But, and I think that's kind of the way some of these people don't know, you know, how little experience they really have in helping people. But doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be bad. But I'd go to somebody, do you want to go to a surgeon that's done 1,000 knee surgeries, not one, right? So
yeah, competent. I mean, so in terms of your coaching and your training, is it moved more from being local to international, or just online, or?
No, it's in the gym, local, and then it's international as far as online goes. Yeah. So people from all over, and all different kinds of people too. Not necessarily. I mean, majority of it is probably, for sure, people that just want to get in shape and lose weight, and maybe have a goal down the road to compete. But and I have some people that are just competitors, and that's it. And but I think the variety is great. I mean, it's more fun for me to have that variety than just working with, you know, one type of person the whole time. Yeah. And women and men as well. So young, old. I mean, the most fun I have is training in the gym, training kids. Yeah. I mean, no offense to anybody else, and they get it, but I love training kids. I mean, because they do exactly what you tell them. they don't. Well, you know, they usually don't have any injuries. Yeah. You know, we all. If I get to my age, you got something wrong, so we can just go full bore, hard. You know, and it's fun. And the kids are just. I like being a positive influence on them. I mean, the first thing their parents usually say is, yeah, he's gotten stronger and he's better out on the field, but his confidence levels is way higher. And I love hearing that. So to me, that means a lot. Is
that your favorite element of training people?
As far as
the kind of the getting the more confidence and the positive effect you have on them, and like especially the young kids.
Oh, it's huge. And it's huge with kids, but even adults too, just the confidence they have, and the, you know, when they're fitting into their clothes again, or they get new clothes because they can't fit in their other stuff. Yeah. It's phenomenal. And you know, it's rewarding to me. I know that they're getting a lot of good out of it. And also in the gym, you build up so many good relationships with people. It's, you know, you just think you go in there to train people. It's kind of why you started it, but a lot of friendships, you know, and for a number of years. I mean, I have some clients who've been with me literally 16 years. So,
wow. Shit.
Yeah.
So I saw that 18-year-old kid on your Instagram, and it was like that. It was pretty chunky doing the curls. Yeah, he was pretty big.
Yeah, he's actually, that was a few years ago, and I think that one, if I know which one you're talking about, and he's back. He's around 290 now. So he's 22, maybe 22, 20, maybe 22, but he's got a good future if he sticks with it.
Yeah,
and he's quiet, does his work. I mean, he's like a young Dorian type guy. Yeah.
I could see you coaching powerlifting as well as weightlifting as well as bodybuilding, you know, as well as lifestyle coaching.
Yeah, definitely. I love doing
it.
The powerlifting's fun too. It's you know, I trained at Westside Barbell for a while with Louie and those guys out there.
Oh my God.
So I'm able to carry that over in a lot of my training with, you know, you modify it for some people and other people just go full bore. But, you know, that's something I really see. Again, the right people at the right time came into my life, so to speak. And I was lucky.
Plus, you become a product of your environment. And I always say, like, if you train at a gym, if you go to Westside Barbell Club, there's no way you're going to train there 3 months. And even if you're training by yourself with your headphones on, you're going to get stronger because it's like they say when they put a goldfish in a bigger tank, it automatically grows because it's in a bigger environment.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to adapt.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't, you know,
adapt or die.
Good things happen. So, and I don't think Louie would allow headphones in the West Side.
Yeah, all phones, definitely not phones. Yeah. So, I mean, you're show promoting. you're coaching. Have you had any more thoughts about maybe doing some judging or maybe starting a supplement company? Have you got any more ways? Because I like to hear, because you kind of got one foot in and one foot out of the industry. But have you got any interest? Because the thing is, I keep saying you guys have so much to offer the industry. So have you got any plans?
Well, it's ironic you say that because we did have a supplement company, and we had it before we had our kids, and one of our kids was a special needs kid, and so we just didn't really have the time to put into it as much as we would have liked. But it was going actually decently well as a beginning company, but it just wasn't working with our life at that time. And as far as judging, I did judge the Arnold. I think it was the first year after I retired.
Wow.
Jim Ormer. So I judged that, and I think I judged the Masters, Olympia, and a few other shows. And again, it was right when we're starting to have our kids, and I just didn't want to travel. I was done. I mean, after all that traveling with bodybuilding, I was kind of done with that. And I thought, I don't want to be traveling doing this all the weekends, and my boys wouldn't be with me. And so I did do both of those things.
Yeah.
And the judging I've thought about still, but I'm just not sure I want to, be leaving town on the weekends. I just don't.
Yeah, it's a lot. No,
if I could judge the Arnold every year, if they'd say, hey, come back and just judge the Arnold, I would do that probably. But they want you to do that, then they start adding stuff on, which they should. I mean, everybody's got to take their fair share of shows to do.
Yeah. So do you follow the modern day bodybuilding much?
No, I don't.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell you the guy that won the Arnold last year or the Olymp. Well, the Olympia this year was Ramy, right?
Ramy, big Ramy, yeah.
Ramy. So I if pressed, I could probably come up with kind of what they look like in my head, but no, and to me, I just I don't know them. I mean, I know my era and just the personalities that were kind of out there and stuff, and I'm just not attracted to it right now. I don't know why.
Do you know one thing I would love to do? I'd love to get you and Dorian in a studio, just chatting.
Yeah.
That, and just get a few topics and just help facilitate it. Maybe get you on a split screen and just get you talking about your perspectives now and how you've changed as people and what you've learned and and training thoughts and how how your ideas have changed about so many different things. I think that's something we need to do in the future, mate.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah. Set that up. We'd love to do it, but he'd probably realize how different we really are. But no, it'd be neat to hear his perspective on him coming up and kind of his thoughts and just being honest with, did he walk? You just see him backstage, right, when you're competing against him, and did he ever think? Because my mindset always was, without telling anybody, I said I can win this. I had to think like that. Otherwise, how could you train all those hours and do all the dieting? I'd love to hear his mindset, and I'm sure if I walked up there with that attitude or that mindset, I'm sure he did. Just to hear, if he ever thought he was in jeopardy of losing and how he came up and what his motivation was, I think it'd be interesting. Yeah, I would like to hear it.
I've never asked Dorian, but you had to be on his radar because you had all the different types of physiques, but you were probably the closest to his in terms of the style of your physique. You had Flex Wheeler, who was very shapely and small waist and small joints and big muscle bellies, but you two had very, very I remember because I was following it, and I was like, this guy, man, he's got dense, really it's built from heavy weight in dusty gyms. This guy's a threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, that's right. Just go back to I wish I'd been able to follow through with it.
Yeah, well, it's done now. You won the Arnold Classic, mate, and I'm happy to have you on here because it's like, I followed you right from when you were placing at the USA's and Nationals and to winning the Nationals and being, oh God, now he's pro, and it's I bet Edgar Fletcher would love to be in your position, with a Most Muscular award behind you and an Arnold Classic, and and thing is, it's like when you win the Olympia or the Arnold, you're one of only so many men. I said this to Samir Banu, I said it to Sean Roden. You're one of only 16 men that won the Olympia. You're one of only how many people that won the Arnold Classic? It's like, that's a huge deal, and that's something no one can ever take away from you.
Yeah, sometimes I realize it, and it's usually when they have every 5 or whatever years, they'll have usually a reunion of the winners. And you start looking around and you think, man, I'm part of this club. It's pretty cool.
Very exclusive.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then you go back to the gym and somebody doesn't know who you are anyway. So it's the difference, right? But you got to know in your own heart that, what you did. And that's what I feel. But it is special. It's a pretty cool little group of people to be in. And they're all good guys too. When you get together, it's amazing how people, like you were saying, attitudes shift over the years. Dorian, what his mindset is now, what mine is now compared to what it was then. But it was neat seeing those guys and everybody's getting along. I mean, not that we didn't then, but it's just everybody's happy because they've proved themselves. There's nothing to prove anymore.
Yeah.
It's all done. So that's pretty cool.
I remember speaking to Sean Ray we were working together at one of the expos, and we sat down and he said, me and Dorian, he says, we're cool with each other now. He says, he didn't like me when I was competing against him. I didn't like him. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. He said, but now we keep bumping into each other at these events. And he says, and now we hang out and we'll have a beer. And he says, and it's all cool. He said, at the time we're kind of like frenemies. He says, but now we, our sort of our priorities have changed now. And now we can sit down and not treat each other as, you're my sort of not enemy, but my, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? You're not my adversary. What's the word?
Adversary.
Adversary. Yeah. Well, whatever. My competitor. And you can, because I think, life is bodybuilding's. It's part of your life, but it's not all your life.
Right. It's something you do, not who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people run into trouble when it's who they are. And then when they don't have it anymore, it's like, what do I do? Who am I?
Yeah.
So, and everybody, you work your way through that. And some people it's harder for some than others. But
I mean, you're a family man, you're a religious man, there's a lot of different elements to you. When you, were you not a preacher, were you at one point? You were a minister.
Well, I went to the seminary in college. It was a liberal arts school, but they had a seminary program within it.
Okay.
So I was studying to be a priest. It takes 8 years. I was in my 4 years of undergrad. Then you have 4 more years of theology or graduate school.
Yeah.
And to be a Roman Catholic priest. And so in the end of my 7th year, I would have been ordained probably in about 3 months. But I met a girl and fell in love, and we ended up, obviously it's my wife now. And but we so we met in 89, 90 right there. And so I finished out my 7th year, but didn't go back for my final year.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
So I was so I was in the seminary for all those years. And then I started bodybuilding really after the 1990 when I just got out of school.
Is there any way you could go back and finish that year? Have you got any ambitions to maybe
I could
that
finish it. I could finish it, but you still couldn't be a priest because you're married.
Right, okay, of course. Yeah,
So that would get in the way of that. You can be a deacon. It's something short of a priest. You can't do all the same things, but I've thought about that too. But it takes a lot of time with the studies and things, and I'm not sure how much I would have to do. I was really there. I mean, no more schooling would have been involved. It would have been mainly just practical things between me being ordained and where I was. But so I've thought about it, but with my 2 boys still, they're juniors in high school, I'd still be taking time from them. And so maybe it'll be something I'll think about in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But,
well, I think the main thing is you seem very happy now and you seem very fulfilled and you've got a lot going on and you seem kind of, and the thing is you're an accomplished man, and there's different layers to you. Like when I speak to, the Dorian Yates and the Jean-Pierre Fuchses and the Vince Taylors, it's great to hear where you're at in life and how you feel about different elements of your life and how you felt about your bodybuilding and how you look back on it now. It's like I find it very, very interesting. I like, it's we always get a good response when the guys who have been out of it for years come on and then they kind of tell us those stories and tell us their kind of feelings on then and now.
Yeah. I think I would like to hear that, most of that stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's
great.
Interesting. That's why I've always thought it was interesting too. Here's something, that probably takes the cake as far as what you said, just hearing where people are now and what they're doing. And kind of, I think everybody thinks that we all thought people that were, competing in the Arnold, the Olympia, like were bulletproof and we can't, we weren't real people, just kind of what they saw on TV or on what even online, but in the magazines.
Yeah.
But I think when they can hear, he was worried that he might not win that show, or this was going on or that was going on in his life. I think people think, wow. I mean, and it helps them, I think, as well, realize life isn't perfect, and you have to overcome things in order to get what you want or fulfill yourself or whatever it is. And it's not when you're, especially look at Dorian tearing his bicep and his tricep and getting injured and flexing the car wreck, and me with my colitis and being in the hospital before the Olympia. No one really knew. I mean, just all those kind of things I think are interesting to hear for people. And and also, bodybuilding helped us. Let's face it, it was probably, for me it wasn't, but for a lot of those guys, it was a large part of their life. So it helped shape who they are at the end too.
Yeah.
And it did as well, but a lot of people it does.
I mean, do you know what Jean-Pierre Fuchs does now?
He came to town and we not hung out, but we're together a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a trainer, isn't he?
He does training, but he's got a cat sanctuary.
Oh, that's because I know he had a ton of cats.
I was like, wow, because I love cats. I love animals. I got loads of weird pets and loads of cats. And I was like, how are we not friends? I mean, I just didn't. It's like funny, you never. I don't know what I would expect you to be doing now, or Jean-Pierre Fuchs or Dorian to be doing, but I love hearing this kind of, they find a new purpose, and it's, and he lights up when he talks about it. And I was just like, wow, It's just like, for me personally, as a huge, crazy bodybuilding fan since 1990, I find I'm more interested to talk to you now than I might have been 20 years ago.
Sure.
Dorian Yates is a very, very interesting person to talk to now. And I used to speak to him back in probably 20 years ago. And I didn't find him that interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
But now I could talk. I went down to see him at an event, and I went to see somebody else. And me and him just sat and we just talked like I've never talked to him before, because he's got more life experience now and he's got different perspectives. Yeah,
like you had said before, there's more layers to him now probably than were then. And yeah, it's interesting. I'm a cat guy too, by the way. I don't know where our cat is.
Yeah.
I know about cats. I would have had her right here.
How many you got? Just
one, Daphne, but yeah. I think she likes me better than anybody in the house, just so you know.
I've got 3.
Yeah. I love cats. Yeah, it would be interesting to sit down with Dorian and just talk. And then with people in general, there's, like I said, that's why it's fun to get together at the Arnold with these guys, even for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, it's been really fun, because I was probably closest of everybody to Nasser.
Oh, really?
And,
really? I didn't know that.
It would have been fun to have him. He came and stayed with me before he did the Olympia. I think the year he got 7th, maybe in Atlanta, was it? Or I can't remember. But he came and stayed with us. He and Viscera, his, that time, I think, wife or girlfriend.
94, that was 94. Yeah, it was 7th. 94. He was 7th, yeah.
Yeah, and so, and then we hung out a little bit in Hawaii when I was over there for guest posing, and he was vacationing. It was right after the Night of Champions.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, he was, unfortunately, I would love to, have been able to get together with him more. Yeah. He's probably the guy that's closest to it. And he and Porter Cottrell, if you remember Porter.
Of course, yeah.
So he and I were probably the closest, those two guys, but.
Yeah. There's someone I need to get on, Porter Cottrell, actually, because he was he popped up on my feed because he obviously won the 93 Night of Champions, and he was another one who was winning everything and doing really well. And
he did, and he was a firefighter too on the side. So.
Yeah, cool. Mike, this has been absolutely fantastic. I've really, really enjoyed talking to you, because he's someone I might have seen you at the Arnold Classics, but I've never actually come up and introduced myself and kind of said hi. But you're someone that I've really, you're on my tick list of really, really wanting to speak to. And it's been, honestly, Mike, it's been a real pleasure. I can't thank you enough.
Well, Giles, I appreciate it. Anytime, just give me a call. We can do it again. No problem. I appreciate it.
All right, then, Mike, and give my best to your cat.
I will.
And your family, of course. And the family, of course. Better say that.
That's right.
Mike Francois, thank you so much for coming on Global Muscle, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mike. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, it is shout-out time for Season 4, Episode 9 of MD Global Muscle, and who do we have? Right, okay, first one is very well-known Instagram personality, Larry Wheels. I love this guy. Doesn't answer my DMs though. This is now this guy. If you don't know who he is, you're clearly not one of his 2.1 million followers. Now he does some pretty impressive stuff. I mean, look at this: 100 kilo single arm bench press. Ooh. Look at that! 100 kilo. That's 220 pounds in his hand. Even just the balancing and that being on his wrist, that's seriously impressive. So, yeah, I mean, he does crazy stuff like this. And I actually really like his videos because I find them genuinely funny as well. Not like that, bless him. No, his videos are annoying. I don't like them. They're stupid. They're stupid. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Crazy shit he's doing. Oh, 140s. Oh, he's on about fat grips. Look at that. He's doing it one arm at a time. It's crazy. How's the lat holding up? Well, he must have tore his lat. I know he's tore his bicep. But he looks, I mean, he's not like your typical looking kind of powerlifter because he's tall. He's tall. He's kind of not like built like a powerlifter. Powerlifters usually got kind of like short limbs. I mean, look at this. He does, what is this now? 855 pounds for 3 reps. Oh, look at the bar. Look at that. 2 reps. I mean, that's just phenomenal. I've seen 865 deadlifted for 1 rep, but this guy's repping with it. Look at that. He goes crazy after he does a lift. He goes, raw! It's like a real release for him. But it does like arm wrestling stuff and, well, I mean, God, I mean, what's this now? 500 pounds? 5 plates? What's that? 7 reps. Oh. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. 500 pounds incline. And he's banging out 7 reps with it. I mean, that's... But like I said, he's not built like a powerlifter. Powerlifter's got quite a lot of body... You know, they've got a bit of body fat and they're kind of just like big tanks. But this guy, he looks like a... I mean, he looks like a bodybuilder, you know? I mean, it's just phenomenal. The deadlifts and the... Look at this. Wow. Yeah, that's that really tall guy, isn't it? Officially the tallest human I ever met. The Dutch giant. And I think Larry's over 6 foot as well. So, but this was the one he posted the other day. I found this is quite funny. It's a little bit cheeky, this one. A little bit cheeky. What? Scroll down? Yeah. No, I want to show you this. 1 million. Is that 1 million likes? Watch this. Oh. Look. So she's just licked his cheek. No. Oh, shut up, you. Stop being such a prude. It's funny. Here we go. She forgot to mention me. This is not funny, this one. No, that's quite funny. It's quite funny. Medium funny. Right, okay. Where's some of the ones I really remember? Right, come on then. Come on. Come on, Carleen, pick one for me.
The big kebab.
The big kebab. That one, that's just a photo, oh, what's this one? He likes playing his PlayStation and all that.
Family friendly shirt.
Not again. Yeah, please. It's a woman's glutes. That's, I think we've seen worse. Oh, God. Oh, such a prude, Callie. Really are. Right, okay. Here he is doing, what's this? Okay, training my bicep with 110 kilo, currently 6 weeks post-surgery. So he's, because he tore his bicep. I forget how he tore his bicep. But he did compete as a bodybuilder, actually. Has he? Yeah, he did the nationals, only in place. But, I mean, he's just all-round, he's a very, very impressive athlete. Yeah, so give Larry Wheels a follow. You probably are already with 2.1 million followers. I'd love to get him on the show. I think it'd be really funny to interview. I think it'd be really, really good. What? He probably scream a lot in the mic. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, it's only when he's training. So, right, okay. Now, here's a guy. As the next shout out is Imran Reza. I think he's from Iran. I'm sure I saw that he was from Iran. He popped up on another Instagram page. But I think we might potentially have another Hadi on our hands because this guy, look at this guy here. I've never seen or heard of this guy before. But I mean, it's like Hadi 2, isn't it? He's got a cut.
It's like a Hadi 0.5.
0.5? Yes. What do you mean 0.5? Oh, half as good, you mean? Well, still half as good as if I was a quarter as good as Hadi, I think I'd be a pretty good bodybuilder, which I'm not. Right, okay, let's see some contest pictures because these are new pictures. He's got 82.1 thousand followers, so he's probably got a lot of fans in the Middle East. Where's he from then? Where's he from? I saw this picture the other day. He's quite impressive. Yeah, he's got some thickness. You can see he's still kind of like a work in progress. But I hope he's not part of the oxygen crew. I can't see. But here's a guy with a lot of potential. Who's this guy with him? Kayanush Koramiepoa.
You sure it's not Jay Cutler?
No. Who's this? What? Who? What?
He looks like a Jay Cutler.
That's not Jay Cutler. Looks nothing like Jay Cutler. What are you talking about?
With your eyes.
He's got a rip. No, looks nothing like Jay. That looks like Jose Raymond. But this guy, I mean, look at the shape, the flare to his lats, the shape of his arms. He's kind of someone to keep an eye on, this guy, because, I was impressed when I saw the few pictures. Where's the really good picture that I saw? Come on, let's see some. Looks quite strong. That's a good shot. But, obviously it's all in Persian. Is that the right? Persian? The language? Iranian? Arabic, yeah. So obviously I can't speak that. But, here's a guy. Like I said, we can't really learn much about him from this because it's all in Arabic. So, Iran. Oh, he's definitely from Iran. God, look at his fucking hamstrings there. Look at the density. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so Imran Reza. Here's a guy to potentially keep an eye out on. So, oh God, what's he lifting there? Are they 45s?
Yep.
That looks like... How many plates is that, Kaleem? I can't see. 1, 2, 3... 600 pounds. Are they 45 pounds?
6 aside.
Jesus, he's repping away with that. Wow.
Rubber on the side.
Sorry?
In the rubber.
The rubber. They look like 20 kilo plates. I don't think they're 15s. So, so he looks strong, this guy. Maybe here's a guy to keep an eye on, like with the, obviously the Rami and the Hadis coming from the Middle East and Egypt and stuff. There's a guy that, he looks impressive, very impressive. So maybe we'll see more of him. I think that's the shot that impressed me. That one now, that's the one I liked. So that's the one that caught my eye. But here's his most recent one. It's hard to tell really, but it's kind of all there. He's probably maybe a year or two from really kind of making waves. But here's a guy to keep an eye out on. Iman Rizzi. I hope I've said that right. Right. Okay. I want to give my friend Anthony Delaney a shout. I met him with Phil Heath when Phil Heath was over for Body Power in 2019, and he's friends with Phil. And he also lent me his car on the Phil Heath tour. His account's private, but he had a heart attack yesterday, and he's 31 years old. He seems, as you can see, he's from that picture there. He's a fit-looking guy. He's a business owner, On Point Logistics Group, father of 2. I think he mentioned in one of his Instagram posts that the stress of running a huge business like that, which is kind of growing. It's a haulage company. But mate, I just wanted to give you a shout out and just wish you a speedy recovery. And you're a good guy, mate. And I've messaged Phil today just to make sure that he knows. And hope you have a speedy recovery. Right, okay. Sergey Kuliev is our next shout out. Sergey Kuliev, IFBB Pro Bodybuilder. Now, I've not seen this guy. He's an open guy. Really big guy. He competes around, I'm sure he's like minimum 270. Huge legs, huge back. And he hasn't competed. I don't think he's competed for at least a year or two. But he's huge, big Russian bodybuilder. It's not much. It's kind of, let's have a look. We just see his physique. I mean, that's it's not a stage shot, but you can gives an idea of, the shape of this guy's physique. But it's probably, it's been a while since he's competed. But he's a. That looks like is that the Chicago Pro?
Yes.
Yeah, Chicago. Oh, sorry, he did Chicago Pro last year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I don't know where he placed. Doesn't say here. But big guy. Do you want to see any training ones or Kali? Which one? There's a lot of shoulder presses in his videos, doesn't he? Look at this. Every video is a shoulder press. Look. Shoulder press. The thing is, when you're shoulder pressing, like, what's that? Fuck, that's like 6 plates.
No,
yeah.
6 and a bit.
6 and a bit. Oh, and the 5s. Weights are falling off. Oh my God, I bet the gym owner hates him. You know, gym owners, like especially fitness gym owners, they'll chuck bodybuilders out for doing shit like that. They hate it. But how many is that? One? Yeah, the lunk alarm, yeah. 1, 2, Planet Fitness, wasn't it in America when they did that? The lunk alarm? What's this? Is that 6 plates?
Yes.
And he's playing with it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hang on, let's have a look at this. This is an up-to-date video. Yeah, it's like obviously all in Russian, but sorry, I can't say that again.
Picture's too small.
Yeah. Let's see some contest shots. Come on, Sergey. Ooh, more shoulder pressing. What the hell's this? I think Larry Wheels has a Russian version of Larry Wheels doing crazy shit in the gym. What's this? Is that 40 kilos? What's he doing, shrugs or? Oh yeah, I was about to say he's not going to do curls with it, is he? So, disappointed not to see more contest pictures. Just lots of shoulder workouts and the occasional. Is he with? No, he's not. That was a gas top. But yeah, well, unfortunately, I can't really show you much other than him training shoulders, and that's it, really. Looking rather large. Yeah, so Real Steel official, Team Nutraversum Russia athlete. Mate, put some more stuff on your, more contest pictures on your Instagram, please, because I'd like to see it. Right, okay. Carleen, we're going to go to your shout out. This is Miss Beast 25 _ IFBB Pro, Melissa Tyke. IFBB Pro, women's physique, 67.5 kilos. Okay. I've got a feeling we've given her a shout out before, Carleen. I think I recognize her quads. I think I did after she did this show. Yeah, she won the. Yes, we have given her a shout out before. But I think when you got quads like that, I think you deserve a sequel, multiple shout outs. Yes, she won the Wings of Strength, Rising Phoenix. Oh, she won the women's physique at the Rising Phoenix. So she's only competed like what was this? October, wasn't it? So yes, so she won. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this picture. I mean, her lower body is sensational. Upper body's very good as well, but her lower body really caught my eye. I believe she's a Shelby Starnes athlete. Oh yeah, Shelby's awesome, isn't he? Shelby's awesome. We've had him on the show. Yes, it was. Where was the picture that really caught my eye? I think it's on Shelby's page. But yeah, look at her legs. I love a whole lower body is. I mean, that's like Olympia winner. You know, upper body's very good, but the lower body is absolutely exceptional. But Melissa Tyke, yeah, she looks a bit of a badass in the gym as well. I'm guessing she has very, very hard leg workouts. What's that? 295 pounds with bands. And is she sitting down? Is she doing the sitting down squat? Oh no, she's doing it from pins. I used to do that with the Smith machine. You start it from a mid range, and it's good for sticking points. But have you ever used those yoke things? These bars?
Yeah, I have actually. Balance.
They're awful. I can't stand them. I think it's because of my height. But no, I was not keen on those. But
Short person, that's perfect.
short people maybe they suit better. I know who does it. Hunter Labrada I saw the other day doing like 4 or 5 plates. Milos Sajev. Okay, Milos does it as well.
Warm-ups as well.
Okay. Milos is cool, isn't he? We'll have to get him on again soon. Right, okay, we're going to go to our final shout-out because we have to go very soon. This is Animal Lovers. Now, I love this. Look at this. Now, listen to this. You've got to put the sound on. This is look. What to say? I love you. I just think that's so cute. That's do you know what sort of snake that is? It's a hognose snake because they have the flat, like the little flat faces. Look. Would you like to see a hamster, a tortoise, or monkeys? Oh, hamster it is. Oh. This hamster will make your Sunday better. It is Sunday today, actually. Look at him go! Oh, wow. He doesn't get out much. He's like me. Right, okay. Right, which one do you want to see? Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Sorry, I can't hear you, Colleen, when you're on the headphones. Happy. Look at him go. What is that? Snow? Or snow or cocaine? Yeah. Maybe it is cocaine. Okay. Right, okay, let's watch a couple more. Is that a desert fox or a fennec? Fennec.
Not the same thing.
Uh,
It'd be used for the heat release.
yes. From the desert, aren't they? Oh, bless him.
Was that a duck? The duck?
Sorry?
Yeah, that one.
You want to see that one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. Yep, they always have that one friend. Oh, I gotta. Yeah, this is look at this bat. Isn't he beautiful? Look at that little cheek full of food. That's a. Oh, yeah. Stop it. I don't like bats getting a bad rap for starting COVID because bats are beautiful. Look at them. They're such beautiful creatures, isn't they? Look at his little face. Right, I'm gonna look at one more. Oh, this one. This is brilliant. Look at this guy. Look. This is a leopard gecko. Celia is the cutest lizard ever. So they look like they're smiling. They're very beautiful, actually. They've got funny fat tails. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, then. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Loving animals. I like stuff like that because it just, rather than booty pics and people just talking bullshit on Instagram, which we all like to do every single day. Right, okay, guys. Thank you for watching this latest episode of MD Global Muscle. We appreciate the support as always. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And we are out.